Welcome everyone, this is Jim, and it's time for WWFree, and it is January of 2021, specifically 7:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 2nd. Welcome everyone, because this is the first show of 2021. I'm Jim, and I'm here with Bill and Sarah, who's going to be joining me for a WWFree. How are you two doing? First Bill, then Sarah.
I'm doing good. It's kind of surprising that we're in 2021 already.
Yes. Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing fairly well. Just hanging in there. I'm hoping this is going to be a whole lot better year than the previous year.
Right. And now we're on the road in regular wrestling to the Royal Rumble, and actually that also means that we'll be bringing Eliminated back for a 4-episode run. That's what we're scheduled for right now. While specific dates are not going to be given at this time, Bill, why don't you tell people what the plan is for the 4 returning episodes?
Okay, so for the 4 episodes, obviously we will be doing the 2021 Men's and Women's Royal Rumble. But this time around, we actually found on YouTube a couple of Royal Rumble matches that Jim and we had discussed in the past, saying we weren't sure if there was actual footage of it or not, and we do a watch-along of both of those Royal Rumbles, one of which is in Japan from 1994. Well, actually, they're both from 1994. One of which is from Japan, and the other one is from New York City, which was held the Monday before the 94 Royal Rumble.
Right, and just to clarify, neither of those are on the WWE Network,
no.
Paid or non-paid. So if you're going to look for it, you look for it on YouTube. They will be in a watch-along format. So this time it was hard for me to pick because all of the WWE Network free stuff are Royal Rumbles, which I was very afraid of. I did not think that they were going to add all the Royal Rumbles this soon, like meaning January 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hoping for later in the month. So therefore, we're going to be watching a best of. I've never seen how any of these work. Well, actually, that's not true, because before this, I watched the best of holiday stuff to kind of get an idea. So, yeah, we're going to do the best of Smackdown matches of the decade. What a day. I'm assuming it's from 2010 to 2020, by the way.
Well, looking at the description, it says of the 2010's, so...
Okay, which, the first couple years maybe were good. I am dreading the second half of this.
Right.
It says, experience SmackDown's defining battles of the 2010s. Classic matches include John Cena and Becky Lynch joining forces in a tag team thriller.
See, so that's I already don't like that, but okay. I don't want to spoil things too much. I'm going on a blank list. I didn't even read the description. Okay, so Bill, why don't you give us a countdown? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll hit play.
All right.
Okay. And everyone make sure. Let's all go to the 1 second mark.
Okay.
Because last time when I was on here with Angry Cooter, for some reason, let's go to 3 second mark. For some reason, when I was on with Angry Cooter, he got an ad and I did not. At the very beginning of his play, so let's make sure neither of you two are getting ads first off.
No, I do not have an ad.
Sarah, do you have an ad, or are you good?
I'm good. Let me go back to
3 second mark.
3 second mark. All right.
All right, Bill, give us the countdown.
All right, let's begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Now, there's going to be I think a good amount of this that I probably have not seen. I was kind of in one of my periods of I'm not really watching anything between the years of probably about 2015 to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was somewhat aware of things going on, but I didn't watch anything. I kind of feel most of how I feel right now, like after me and Bill are done, we're eliminated. I think I'm probably going to be done, at least for a little bit. So right now we're seeing Batista, we see Rey Mysterio. I forgot that they were a team.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how it started. Okay.
So we are going in chronological order because this is from January 15th of 2010. So I'm assuming, I mean, it'd be pretty coincidental if this first match was almost the earliest it could possibly be in the description.
Right.
Okay. So I want to spend time to talk about the way this format's going to work, because quite frankly, there is not that much going on in the wrestling world. You know, everyone's gearing up for the new year. We haven't, I guess Smackdown was on the other day, who the hell knows, but I kind of want to take this format in talking about maybe things from the year 2020, both in wrestling and out of wrestling. If you have something that came up next week, fine, no problem, but, you know, I want to talk about stuff, you know, was maybe we remember 2024. Obviously, a lot of bad things went on in 2020, but, you know, there was some news and some interesting stories to look back on. One thing I don't really want to concentrate too much on is death, because there was a lot of death in 2020, and I think, I mean, in my family alone, there were 3. I think, I don't want to say I would want to speak for everybody listening, but I'd rather not dwell on deaths because of how many, and chances are, like, everybody knows at least a person that knows someone that might have been passed away, whether it was COVID related or not. That's how crazy this year has been. So while we might mention like like Chad Boswick and whatnot, I don't really want to dwell on it, so to speak, of like, you know, let's look ahead to some new days.
Yeah, I just experienced some loss myself. My grandmother passed away a couple of months ago, and then a writing colleague of mine passed away earlier last month, and then just as recent as Sunday, a close family friend of ours who I refer to as an uncle, he passed away. They were not COVID related, but it's still been pretty hard on top of the pandemic and all that stuff.
And I think that's the thing, is that there's a majority of people have lost at least one person that they knew or someone that they knew through someone else. So like I said, I don't really want to dwell on that, because I mean, we can go on probably for an hour at least alone on people that have passed away, not only in our personal lives, but you know, actors, wrestlers, you know, anything really. So instead, I'm going to start off with what I consider the biggest story of all of 2020, obviously outside of the pandemic in general, which is a story in itself, but you can watch or listen to the Wrestling with COVID series me, Bill, and Josiah do. Sting appears in AEW, debuts for AEW. I peg this as the wrestling moment of the year.
A lot of people, I think, have that as the wrestling moment of the year.
Sarah, how do you feel? Wrestling moment of the year? I don't think we've talked to you about it. What did you think? How did you feel about it? Did you care at all?
Yeah, so, yeah. I remember I was out. I think I went to dinner, or I had to run some errands or whatever. And I had the TV on TNT, so when I got home, AEW was going to be on, and I could just sit down. Well, I got home, and I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, why is Sting on my TV? Like, I was looking like, Sting is on my TV, what the hell? And, but I love it. I think it's a good thing for AEW. In seeing whatever they got going on, The fact that they're saying so little but saying so much, that's keeping people like in tune to what could be ahead. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are being said about Sting not being happy with his run in WWE and all that. And, if he gets one more chance to, do something, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, that's the same thing. I've actually not seen Sting in WWE. I think eventually I had heard about it. Again, that was during a period I'm not really watching. And it should be mentioned, I don't remember this at all, our Batista versus Rey Mysterio match. But even in, I would say I really started trailing off a lot in 2012 and 2013. So, so the other day I watched on free WWE Network, they had a bunch of holiday things.
Right.
And I started watching a lot of the Christmas stuff that they were offering. And that included, Santa getting run over by a car.
Yes.
And I was like, I've never seen this. And this episode is hilarious, actually. Very WCW 2000-ish. But I know that I was watching more than I was now. So clearly even though there's a period that I didn't really watch anything, there's also a period where I just didn't really pay attention, I guess. Bill, I think we talked about your thoughts on Sting, did we not?
Yeah, I'll just say to Sarah real quick, when I first watched when Sting came out and they had the snow, I honestly thought it was Glacier coming out.
Hey, I'm from Georgia. We all love some Glacier.
Yeah, but for me, like I said, moment of the year. I know people will argue what the moment of the year is for, in a good way, because obviously the moment of the year is the friggin' pandemic and how it changed pro wrestling.
Changed the world, really.
Changed the world, yeah, really. And how people did things, but I mean. Outside of that, though, Sting in the wrestling world, I think is the big star.
Yeah, that was definitely a surprise, and that, like I said earlier, that's great for AEW, and it'll be interesting to see what 2021 brings for them. Speaking of Rey Mysterio, he's on here. I was going to mention him because. Sure. I was watching the WrestleMania 36 documentary before I came on here.
Oh, I think I actually saw that. Okay, or a little bit.
Yeah, and it was really good. And something that I thought of that probably I don't think it's gone unnoticed, but more of oh man, really. But when you look deeper, Seth Rollins has had a great 2020. He had that feud with Kevin Owens, and which that was showcased at WrestleMania. And then he had this long feud with Rey Mysterio from summer into fall. And I know we all pretty much were like, oh man, really? But I think overall, Buddy Murphy really benefited from that in some extent.
I mean, the only thing I remember from right now is for WrestleMania was me having COVID and being really sick and still being very angry about the Boneyard match.
Oh.
I do remember that. As sick as I was like, this is fucking stupid. I hate this. And I was like, that's the one thing I'll always remember. I didn't even remember Seth Rollins fought Kevin Owens until you just said that. I will say this, though. Ray... I remember, was it because he came back? Did he come back at the Rumble this year? Was it last year?
I want to say it was this. I don't remember now.
I kind of want to say no now because I'm thinking I don't feel like Edge and Rey Mysterio came back in the same Rumble.
Right.
You know what? Maybe he was at the Rumble. I'm gonna find out. Hold on.
If he was a late number for some reason. And Bill, both me and you should be ashamed.
Yes.
We do not remember this at all. Or I guess to tell you how unmemorable the Royal Rumble was.
Because I do remember Ray was in 19. I remember that.
Right.
Because that was the one where Seth won it.
Look, the thing is, for me, with Seth Rollins, just to chime in on that, is that I think him as Tyler Black was extremely overrated in Ring of Honor. I still don't get the appeal, but whatever. I think he's as generic as the other guys, so I can't say I agree or disagree because I just don't care about him. Bill, what are your thoughts on Seth Rollins?
I mean...
Also, he was part of the second worst Iron Man match I've ever seen. Against Austin Aries at that final battle.
Oh my god, that match was bad. No, that match was bad. I will agree with you on that.
And subsequently, I've seen good matches from Austin Aries, and I don't know if I could point to one Seth Rollins match that was like, wow, that was amazing.
The thing with Seth is...
Why is he doing push-ups?
Just so he can show that he's going to be a movie star in the 2010s.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like, Marvel, take a look at this.
And Marvel's like, who's this guy? I think with Seth, there are times where he can be good in the ring. And like the first one that I think of from this past year is the match he had with Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank, which was
that was good,
really good. But then there are times where it's like, I don't know if he doesn't want to put in like half the effort, or if he's just like, oh, I can coast on this, But he is capable of having good matches. You just gotta, find them.
Right.
Let me butt in here. Rey Mysterio, he's been, I was just reading here, he's been pretty much, a regular, and, yeah, it was, I'm looking from like late 2019 on, and, he had that small feud with Andrade, and with the United States Championship. So they had like a little bit of that going on, and then he did qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, which he did not win. And then that's when the whole thing
Hold on, we got a new match coming up here. We got Rey Mysterio won the cage match, and now it looks like we're going to get an Edge match. Or at least this video package makes me believe that that's going to happen.
Oh, there we go. I had lost the thing for a second, but I'm on time with y'all. I just was looking that up for y'all.
Well, if you ever need a time sync, just let us know. Actually, we'll try to do time syncs periodically throughout the episode as well. I do remember just to kind of close out Rey Mysterio while we find out what match this is. Oh, here we go. Edge versus Kane. Well, that sounds like a match that should have been happening in 2005. Anyway, the only reason I knew that he wasn't signed for like the last 5 years, because I remember that there was interest in AEW trying to get Rey.
Yeah.
Then eventually that didn't happen, but I was like, well, if that's the case, then that was only in AEW only existed for like a year and a half, so it has to be either 2019 or 2020. Bill, why don't you bring up a topic? What do you got?
Okay.
By the way, just want to say right now we're talking about. Oh no! My WWE Network keeps freezing because it's award-winning. So
it's
completely frozen. So guys, just keep. You might need a timestamp in a little bit. Anyway, okay. When me and Cooter did the last episode, Angry Cooter and I, we definitely talked way more. We talked for like a half hour of HBO Max stuff. So we've already accomplished talking about more wrestling in our half hour on this one. Congratulations. All right, Bill, give me a while I might turn WWE Network off and restart because it keeps freezing every 3 seconds.
Okay.
And it gives that little thing. You put the topic.
Alright, so while Jim's trying to fix whatever's going on...
You know, because it's an award-winning... Who gave this app an award? Probably some bullshit company. Oh, wait, what's this? Hold on. Cannot connect to servers, so network features for this application unavailable.
Oh, no.
Please verify the network. Oh, wait, is it... Are they... This is confusing, because... Be my network, but then how am I talking to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, keep going. If I get cut off, I get cut off, so let's go.
Alright. So, as you guys are... Or by the time you guys are listening to this... Monday night is, unfortunately, the Raw Legends episode.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
And I say unfortunate because we shouldn't be having these 60-plus-year-olds going to the Thunderdome where they could possibly get COVID.
That's true. I didn't think of that. That is very irresponsible.
And, Jim, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the people that I've read that
Is there a list?
There is a list.
Let's hear the list.
All right.
Unless you want to point out this specific person.
Yeah, I do want to point out the specific person. Because you and I, we've had this talk about this person. And you have said to me, off air, that if this person comes back before the Royal Rumble, that person is a liar about coming back to WWE or not.
Right.
And if they come back...
to say too.
And if they come back after the Rumble, this person will have told the truth. Melina is scheduled to be on Raw Legends on Monday.
Okay, first off, number one.
I haven't heard this. Tell me more.
Well, first off, number one, I will now refer to as Maliar. Secondly, she's not a legend. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
She's like the most botchy woman.
Same company that refers to Alicia Fox as a legend, okay?
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, what's the rest of the list? Is Alicia
Oh, yeah!
Alicia Fox, me and Bill talked about how Alicia...
I tend to think of them as legends either, but, you know.
You know what, though? Alicia Fox...
Respect to them, but I just wanted to point that out to you.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Alicia Fox actually makes more sense than Maliar, and I'll tell you why. And Bill, we've talked about this, that I don't know what legend show it was, but there was some legend show, and at the end of the show, all the legends were in the ring, with exception to one person from the current roster at that time, and that being Alicia Fox. I'm sorry, you cannot convince me that she's not, like, sleeping with a higher-up or something. How does that even happen?
I know.
And she got Arn Anderson fired.
Yes.
Okay, you want to read me this list while I am on my way to going to the stream again?
Yeah, I will read this list, and there's one extra person. They didn't update this list that I'm looking at because this person was added, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago. But I'll go through the list. Alicia Fox, Beth Phoenix.
She's like, oh, it seems like she's always there anyway. What's the difference?
Well, yeah, Big Show. He is a legend. Star of the Big Show show.
You know what? I'll take that. Sure.
Boogeyman.
Oh, I like the Boogeyman.
Yeah, I know. I got no problem with Boogeyman. Booker T. He's always on, so, you know.
Yeah, he's always on too.
Candice Michelle.
Okay.
You know, that's somebody that hasn't been around in a while.
Yeah, that is true. Carlito.
Nice.
Neither has he, so that's cool.
Hillbilly Jim.
Okay.
Got no problem with him.
Good to see he's in good health, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan.
Why would he agree to compromise that possibly? I don't know.
Right. So Hulk Hogan.
No black people better work with him.
IRS.
Okay.
Ivory.
They actually rehired him.
Oh, yeah, because I think, wasn't he on furlough?
They did that whole release thing WWE did, and it was on tax day.
Yes.
Oh, God.
It was so funny. They're like, I can't believe they fired him on tax day.
Alright, who else you got, Bill?
Ivory.
Okay.
Jacqueline.
Alright.
I actually don't mind having Jacqueline on there.
I love Jacqueline.
Jeff Jarrett, Jimmy Hart, Kurt Angle, Mark Henry.
Isn't Mark Henry always there anyway? Mark Henry's always there too.
You'd think. I think he's in the Thunderdome audience every once in a while.
God. That's what he's been reduced to, just a screen.
Okay, Melina, like I said. Michael P.S. Hayes. And this next... I know. Now, this next one, I don't think I'd put on, only because I still think she's an active wrestler, and I still like her. I still do. Mickie James.
Okay.
I thought she was too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Ric Flair.
Right.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Okay.
Tatanka.
There you go. That's someone to get behind.
Yeah.
Tori Wilson.
Okay.
And the newest person they added on, Eve Torres.
Okay.
And
By the way, what's your time cue? So I'm on the thing, but I don't know where you guys are at.
I'm at 21:45.
I'm at 21:17.
I didn't. You know what? I'll pause for like a few seconds so you guys can catch up.
Well, I'm on 21:10 now.
Okay.
All right, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll give another time cue in about 5 minutes. Right now, I am watching Edge and Kane fight in the audience up the steps.
Yeah, me too.
And I guess it's no disqualification. I didn't realize that.
I don't think they said it.
Or they said it and I missed it because the WWE Network went down on me.
Right.
Which, by the way, that happened the other day too. It was the weirdest thing when I was watching the holiday specials. Out of nowhere, it was like, "You are now signed out. Please sign back in to watch your show."
Every time my Xbox One updates, I have to sign back into everything. It is such a pain in the ass.
I'm
It
wondering if
really
that might
can
the
be.
same for me, too. But I've never had to sign.
Every time.
I've never had to do that for HBO Max or Disney Plus, which I also have.
Okay.
Okay, good. Legends Night, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
They're gonna get their boost that they want, and then it's just gonna go back to the regular numbers. I feel
And
like
you know
they do
what?
this every year.
I will say this. I actually think they might get a good number because they're not competing against anything this week. There's no big sports event that's happening or that I know of on Monday. So they might get a decent number.
Okay.
And this day, a decent number would be like anything close to a 2.
Yeah, they're riding that high of having that real big rating off of SmackDown. So, well, that too, and the one thing I keep seeing that is just really annoying at this point for me is I keep seeing the same headlines on these sites. Lowest number in history, lowest viewership. They say this every year. I know for at least the last 5 years they have said it. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, not that I'm comparing numbers or anything. I'm sitting there like, okay, every once in a while, maybe once every other year or something like you'd be thinking that, but they do this like several times a year, every year.
Yeah, but isn't that a bad
It's like,
sign?
are you exaggerating or is that really true?
Well, no, it's really true, but I would say that's even more disturbing because that means that they keep meeting their record low and actually doing worse than that. The fact that it keeps getting reported, it'd be like me if, let's say I ran around the block tomorrow, right? And then a month later, I'm like, oh, I beat that record because I ran around 2 blocks today. And then 3 months later, I go, so that's good because I'm like, all right, I've done better where I'm now running around way more. The fact that they keep meeting their low expectations and their low numbers, that's definitely a problem. And they deserve it. if we're honest.
Well, and they rely on nostalgia too, and it just only goes so far. And that, I can agree with that too. But I guess for me, like I've seen some good stuff on Raw, and I see some good stuff on SmackDown as well. Not saying all of it is good, but I think the biggest problem is just keeping the viewer interested in watching like the whole 2-3 hours. I know for me it's kind of hard because I have a job where I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but still.
Well, to be fair to you, that's one of my biggest problems right now. It's also the same problem that I have with AEW, quote unquote, getting a second show, even though it's really a third show, because if they're going to keep Dark, which I'm apparently hearing, the one thing the pandemic has kind of proven to me is when there's nothing else on, people still don't want wrestling. So why are you giving us more? Lower it down, concentrate on the stories that you have and the wrestlers that you have, instead of having like all these different things and more time. Like, I don't know, it's just annoying to me that like the answer to them is like it's quantity over quality. It's quantity over quality. That's what it is.
Yeah, you have a point. And then NWA just launched a new show too, Shockwave. I don't think they aired this week because of the
holidays.
But yeah, they just started up a new show, and there is a lot.
There's too much.
There is a lot of wrestling to watch, and
there's too much.
Maybe they think too much is too much. You can't have too much, but sometimes too much is a bad thing.
But,
yeah, exactly.
But some,
it's like for me, it's like I have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I try to watch? What do I try to keep what do I try to keep track of? It's like now. When I was in my 20s, it wouldn't matter, but I'm getting close to 40, and I have other priorities, so it's so hard. I try not to stress myself out about it, because I was like, you're already on Facebook, like, when you're off of work half of the time, so you see what's going on, so it's like one of those things where, okay, if it catches my eye, or like a headline or something catches my eye, I'll be like, okay, let me take a look at that and see what they're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm just for comparison here. So I recently watched a show I guess it's not a show, it's a mini-series on HBO Max called The Undoing. I don't know if either of you have heard about it. It's 6 episodes, roughly about 50 minutes, so let's just round that up to an hour, so that's 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's for one mini-series that I got a beginning, middle, and an ending. Was I satisfied? That can be argued, but I at least got the story. That's 1 week of WWE Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much.
And that's if you're not even playing any other promotions. You have three hours for Raw, 2 hours for SmackDown, 1 hour for NXT. That's 6 right there. And I'm not getting an ending, I'm just getting...
Right, that's not counting like main event or Raw Talk or Talking Smack or none of that.
Yeah, so,
NXT UK.
I can't believe that's happening. Anyway, speaking of which, Bill, do you want to add anything to that before I move on?
No, I was just going to say, I think a part of the problem, and it's not, it kind of is wrestling in a general's fault, but it's not entirely.
No, it is. It's unless who you gonna blame?
YouTube, because they have this revenue to get to put these shows up, where if they didn't, it might never make it. Because like, I highly doubt people are gonna go watch a wrestling show on Daily Motion, or I think Vimeo is another one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt they're going to go to either one of those to watch wrestling.
Mm.
So,
I mean, I guess I see your point. So I'd like to now switch gears here, as we're still watching Edge versus King, which is actually a pretty decent match. Edge almost got thrown downstairs a little earlier. I was kind of hoping that actually should
Yeah,
happen.
they're going all over the place. They whooping ass all over the place.
I'm changing the thing up here a bit to something timely that Bill sent me the other day, and I think you're on the opposite side with me with this, Bill. Cardi B versus Peppa Pig.
Cardi B versus who?
Peppa Pig.
Oh, okay.
Bill, why don't you give the background of what was going on there?
Okay, so in short, the whole beef is Cardi B has a daughter, which I honestly did not know.
No, nor did I.
Which kind of scares me that she's a mother. But that's neither here nor there. So, she has a problem with Peppa Pig because on the show, and I know this because I used to watch it with my nephews when they were little, one of her favorite things to do would be to jump up and down in muddy puddles. So, she sees her daughter doing this, and she doesn't like that. So she sent out, I guess it's a tweet or an Instagram or something.
Yeah, it was a tweet.
I'm gonna read it.
Please.
My baby been watching Peppa Pig, and now every time she sees a wet puddle, she wants to stomp on top of it. Damn you, Peppa Pig! Count your effing days.
That was great. Alright, I'm pretty sure. Right? Because I'm on Team Cardi on this.
Oh, I'm on Team Peppa.
Yeah, okay, so what is your reasoning?
Okay, first off, it's a freaking cartoon. You're gonna. I'm just saying. No, but in all seriousness.
Giving this little circle spin again.
Okay.
Okay, good. Sorry.
So the thing is, as a parent, I'm just saying this, you have the right to not have your child jump and get their clothes wet. Okay. You just tell them, hey, don't get your clothes wet. But the daughter...
Kids are going to do what they want to do.
Exactly!
I don't play, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Because it's like, my nephews, whenever there was like a puddle, my nephews would jump in it, and, it was like, okay. But I guess it's a boys will be boys kind of thing.
I guess maybe for you. So, yeah, no, my thing is, like, I get that. First of all, I don't have any kids, so I'm not going to say, like, oh, I relate to this or anything like that. But, like you said, they're going to see the puddle, they're going to jump in it. And who's the one that's encouraging them to jump in it? Peppa Pig. You can just not do that.
Can be taken as serious, but at the same time, it's like maybe she was just bitching. But then again, this is Cardi. Like when anything comes with Cardi, it's like amplified.
It is.
The best is I now follow Cardi, and I am amused. Like with her tweets. Okay, but wait, going back to this, but Bill, so let me ask you this: if your nephews watched, I don't know, some random Disney Junior show, and they were like, "Oh, it's okay for you to like bop someone on the head," and then they just bop people on the head all day, you would be okay with that because it's on a kid's show?
It depends on what they're bopping me on the head with.
With their fist, with their hand.
Well, it'd be okay the first time.
That Peppa Pig is encouraging the action. That's what I'm saying here.
Plus, okay, here's my other thing. If they end up going to war like Tupac and Biggie, Team Peppa's got everything. She's got everything covered. She's got her brother George. She's got Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, Grandma and Grandpa Pig. That's just her family alone. Then she's got Pedro Pony, Danny Dog, Rebecca Rabbit, Susie Sheep, Madame Gazelle, so, you know, she's got the whole town with her. Cardi B can't beat that.
I mean, Cardi B just needs one friend to beat all of them.
Bullshit.
And all it is something that you hold in your hand and take shots. Just saying. By the way, this Edge versus Kane match is over. It was pretty good, even though we weren't paying that much attention to it. Nice hardcore match.
This is one of the things that I like about this is that it kind of reminds me to like our little wrestling get-togethers back in the day. Like you watch the pay-per-view, but you know you talk about other stuff too. I mean that's what like everybody does.
Right, but unfortunately, no one does it now because
Cell phones taking over.
What happened?
I said cell phones taking over.
Well, that too, but I was gonna say the streaming in general, like what, like
Yeah, but,
I when WWE Network first came out, my friend was like, "You want to come for Royal Rumble?" I'm like, I don't really have that much of an interest, but you know what? I could just pay $10. It's not like that's the thing is back in the day it was like $50. You're like, do I really want to give that much? But now it's $10. It's easy to isolate yourself.
Yeah, it's like it like back in the day. It's like my 12-year-old nephew. I told him, I said, "You don't know how good you got it." Like
Exactly.
Which is why I don't
I was telling him, I was like, dude, like we all got together at somebody's house. Most of the time it was my house, my parents' house that is, and I was like, look, we all got together. I mean, it was like a whole event. Like people chipped in to help pay for the pay-per-view. People brought, you brought your food, your snacks, all kinds of stuff over. I mean, we had a party. And even like with Raw, like me and my girlfriends, we used to get together for Raw every week. We always said we had what we call quote unquote men's night.
Wait, let me interrupt real quick because I need a timestamp because I'm still trying to sync back up.
37:03 for me.
Oh my god, I'm on like 37:03, so I'll go with 37:27 right now. And there we go. So what I'm seeing right now is last Monday on Raw 1000, because I guess that just happened around this time.
Right.
The Miz beat, I don't know, I missed who it was, to be honest with you. Now Miz is in the ring. Is that syncing up to both of you?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to check. No, but like I said, you're right. That's why I don't understand. This is a little bit of a pandemic talk, but I just don't get the kids that are like, I don't even half believe it. Like, the parents that are saying like their kids are going crazy. I'm like, are you kidding me? If I was a kid in 2020 and I couldn't leave the house, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like if it was in like the 90s, then probably not because you didn't have streaming services or anything like that.
Right.
Much less cell phones or anything. But I to me, whenever I hear like a parent say like, "Oh, my kid is getting depressed," I just don't believe it. I just feel like it's always like that every kid is like Eric Cartman from the pandemic special when he sings the social distance.
Yes.
Have you seen that, Sarah?
No, I haven't.
It's freaking great.
I completely forgot about it.
Tell Sarah a little bit what I'm talking about with the pandemic song, because I gotta go get a drink.
Okay, so he sings about how he doesn't have to do anything, basically. And one of the things he does in the song is he signs in to Zoom to join the classroom.
Yeah.
Every day he has computer problems, and he just puts a picture of him like in front of the screen and just leaves for the rest of the day and does whatever he wants.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god, that is such a smart idea. And then
The kiddo's ideas now.
and then whenever he's out, he has like a stick with a flag and is like, 6 feet, gotta stay 6 feet away. Oh my god, it's so funny.
I can hear him saying that, 6 feet away.
It's so funny. Although the best part to me is they have the police take over the school, and the police. At one point, Cartman gets mad because he feels like all his rights are being taken away.
Yes.
He can't stay at home and go to school at home anymore. And then him and Kyle start fighting, and the police go to break it up and then start shooting their gun at him. But then you find out that they really weren't shooting at Cartman and Kyle. They were shooting at Token, which is the black kid. So
speaking of South Park, I seriously think Ramblin' Rabbit of the Firefly Funhouse is their Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah.
Something always happens to him. Like, you killed Ramblin' Rabbit! What? You know, and like, you killed Kenny, you bastards! But yeah, that's their Kenny.
I would have a Ramblin' Rabbit puppet if it wasn't $35.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's too much.
Like, I'm going to wait until it's maybe at minimum $15.
You never know, they might have this big clearance and you might get it for $5. You never know.
Oh, I'd pay it for $5.
Right, I would get it for $5.
I've been waiting for a bunch of games to drop on clearance. Like, hopefully one day that'll happen. But yeah, always look for that clearance sale.
I get in trouble with clearance.
Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is another non-wrestling topic. And
I got one.
Okay, go ahead. You got one, go ahead.
I was wanting to mention it because I wanted to know what y'all thought about it. It's something that's went viral within the last several days, and I used to, of course, I think I told y'all I used to work at a hotel, and I did it for 10 years, and anyway, this thing that went viral, it was the hotel iPhone incident, where a woman accused a teenager of stealing her iPhone, and she tackled the kid and everything. The kid's father recorded it on his phone, and they're calling the girl Soho Karen.
Okay.
And but yeah, it's went viral, and it takes place in the lobby of this hotel. She's accusing this kid of stealing her phone, and the guy is recording, the kid's father's recording it, and she's all up in the phone talking about how he stole her phone and stuff. Like, it was crazy, and I thought it was pretty funny about the name Soho Karen. But things like that.
Well, I don't know that
I'm
one.
glad I'm not in a hotel anymore.
As well, especially during this
It's
time.
like one of those things that just popped up over the last few days.
We should also be just glad that they're not working in a hotel, because I would say that's probably a top place that you could probably get the virus.
Yeah.
Because it's new people that are there literally every day. It's funny, someone asked me, because I've been on 2 cruises in the last, 3 years or whatnot. And someone asked me a few months ago, do you think that you would go on a cruise again? And I'm like, absolutely. And they're like, why? Don't you think that when you be kind of concerned? I'm like, no, because it's a cruise. Everyone gets tested, and then they go on the ship, and that's all that's on there. No one's going in and out anymore. I was like, if anything, it's more dangerous for me to be coming to work, where I take a train and a bus, and there are new people on there every day. That's more dangerous than going on a cruise. What I'm doing right now. But as far as your thing goes, I actually have not seen it. I would feel more comfortable probably if I actually saw it before I said anything about it. Because I've seen cell phone things where I'm like, why did you start recording just then? Did you edit something out?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm not really sure of all the details, but that was something that just popped up, and I was like, what? But that was the first thing I thought was, I'm so glad I'm not in a hotel anymore, because, then you have to be the middle person, you have to call the police, then you got to detail it, and then you have to answer all these questions. No, thank you. And, it's just, But yeah, it was crazy, and oh god, it was nuts, and people and honestly, people really do act like that. It's the holidays are the worst.
Right.
I just remember, like, when I would be scheduled to go to work, I'd be like, oh my god, can this be over? This is because everybody and their mama's on the road. They don't. It's like they haven't been let out all year long, and they cut the fool every time. And but yeah, I was like, well, it was great.
Do you know anything about this video or no?
No, this is the first time I've heard about this video.
It's just, but yeah, she was accusing the kid of stealing her phone, and it was crazy.
So my topic that I want to bring up that was non-wrestling here is, on Christmas Day, we had two movies that came out on, respectively, Disney Plus and HBO Max that were, and could have theoretically been theatrical releases, but they both were chosen to air on their respective streaming services. For Disney Plus, it was a movie called Soul, and for HBO Max, it was Wonder Woman 1984. Did either of you two see this? I saw both. Soul, to me, was infinitely better. Wonder Woman, the start was okay, and the ending was kind of but I think my biggest problem was I watched Soul first. I would suggest if anyone who didn't watch, try watching Wonder Woman first and then Soul. Don't do it the opposite way around.
I haven't seen any of them. I don't have Disney Plus or HBO Max, so I'm kind of like lacking in that department.
Any streaming services other than, I guess, WWE Network that apparently works for you?
And there's actually a new one coming up called Discovery Plus. I might look into something in the next month or so, but yeah, I got the network, I got Netflix. I between that and I do find a lot of cool stuff on YouTube to watch.
Sure.
I kind of get occupied with that. So
No, I mean, look, as long as you're occupied, I mean, there's a certain person that me and Bill both know that apparently are subscribed to like 6 or 7 different services, and I criticized him about it the other day. Because I was like, there's no way you possibly have time to watch all of these services.
right.
So if you can get away, like in your case, if you can get away with just the WWE Network that you know you use and Netflix, which I'm assuming you use, then yeah, just stick with those. There's no shame in not having every single streaming service.
Right. It's kind of like a pick and choose, really.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Netflix wouldn't be my choice, but I mean, like my choices are Disney Plus and HBO Max, and HBO Max is because of my cell phone provider.
I would actually consider Disney Plus down the road.
Yeah, Disney Plus is fun.
It's very affordable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you do like if you pay once a year like I do, it's $70.
Yeah, I actually just
That's
did
not
the
bad. Yeah. Amazon Prime is something I'm looking into as well, because they do some stuff as well. I think.
Yes, they do. Although I have heard, like, really the benefit for Amazon Prime is if you order from Amazon a lot, and then you get like the free 2-day shipping or something like that. Like that's the real benefit there, more than the actual
you
video.
can listen to unlimited music and stuff like that. It is something along that fact, but I've heard good things about it, so it's something that I was thinking about as well.
Bill, Soul or Wonder Woman? Did you see either? Or do you care about
Unfortunately, I did not see either one of them. I thought I would, but
So disappointed in you.
I know. I might be, you know what, maybe trying to think, because,
You know
like,
what? If you only have to watch one, watch Soul.
right. And that's actually what one of my nephews told me yesterday, because, like, they watched Soul. I mean, they can't watch Wonder Woman yet, because they're a little too young for it. But they said that it was pretty good, so.
Right. It's, you know what it's kind of like if you saw Bill? It has aspects, I might have told you this, it has aspects
you did.
of Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you liked Inside Out, I would be very surprised if you don't like Soul. Okay, as we're watching, you know what? Out of the 3 matches so far, this is the worst one.
Yeah.
Christian versus Miz. Why is this? Does not seem like a best of. This just seems like, hey, it's Friday and it's SmackDown. Bill, I think it's your turn to give it up.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna stick with non-wrestling because during the break, the winter break, I actually, yeah, from my job.
Yeah, for you.
For me, yes. I started watching the show on Disney Plus. Like, I'd seen bits of it on TV, and I was like, huh, this could be interesting. So I've started watching this show. I've been through 4 episodes. I'm really enjoying it. And it's called The Owl's House.
Okay, never heard of it.
No.
So the premise is there's a teenage girl named Luce, like Lucy. They just call her Luce for short.
Okay.
And she's really into, like, witches and wizard stuff, you know. And
Is this animated?
yeah, this is animated.
Okay.
And she's supposed to go to, like, this summer camp where it's supposed to, like, bring her back to reality, quote unquote. And she accidentally ends up going through, like, this portal into this world of witches and all this different kind of stuff. And she wants to be, like, she becomes a witch's apprentice. And there's this wizard named Ida who is called Ida the Owl Lady, and she teaches her how to be like a witch. And they also have this little demon named King, who actually he's my favorite character on the show. I think he's really funny. And it's so fascinating because the animation is so good. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of animation before.
Okay.
And
Whoa, hold on one second. Sorry to interrupt you.
okay.
That was a decent sized jump.
Yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. Now we're in 2016, so we're already at probably the garbage period. All right. Well, let's see what happens. It's Dean Ambrose versus, you know, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not going to get back to the Owls.
Yeah.
But real quick, because Seth Rollins is on the TV right now, and I just saw Dean Ambrose.
All right.
I watched one of the things on the holiday special was the Massacre on 34th Street street fight with Dean Ambrose versus what the fuck did he fight? Now I don't remember. I think it's Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
And I definitely see a difference of like what WWE was trying to do with Dean Ambrose versus what he's doing in AEW. Like in AEW, I kind of see Dean Ambrose. He's like the hardcore guys in your face and all that. I feel like WWE they tried to do that, but he looked more like an idiot. Like
Right.
in that match in particular, like he looks like he's like dumb.
I think he's more. Passionate in AEW. Because when he did his podcast with Jericho there, when he first got with AEW, he was saying how unhappy he was and stuff like that. And I think you could, like, when you go back and look, you can really tell. And I think you could tell in the difference too between his matches, like here, and his stuff in AEW.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, I don't know if I've really seen Dean Ambrose. Saw Dean Ambrose like in WWE, only for like maybe a handful of times. But like that, especially that, I think the Massacre on 34th Street threw it out more because I'm used to now seeing Moxley as a hardcore wrestler, and this was the first time I think I saw him as Dean Ambrose in a hardcore setting. All right, anyway, the Owl's House. So
Yes, the Owl House.
how many seasons is it? How long is each episode?
They've only done one season. It's about 25 minutes, so it's about like a 30-minute show. They did 19 episodes, and I didn't realize this until I started to watch the show. And Jim, this is going to come back to the days of the TV draft.
Yes.
Because what I'm about to tell you, I don't think I've ever heard this for any TV show.
Okay.
The show got a second season before one episode even aired.
I think that I feel like that did happen for one of ours, but I don't remember the show. But obviously, it is very, very rare.
It is, and I will say this: of the first four, because and this
Lord of the Rings got a renewal before one episode of that aired. If it even aired yet, I don't even know actually.
Okay, so here's how I would put it. If our listeners are interested, the first, and this is something I've learned from Jim, doing all these different podcasts over the years, especially with TV. You gotta try more than the first episode.
Yeah, I would always advise that with every show, to be honest.
Yeah.
But how far in should they go in? Like, at what point do you, for example, for me with The Undoing, again, that was a 6-episode thing, so not the same thing. But I'm like, if you can't get past the second episode, then, you're pretty much not going to be interested. Is there a point of that for you that you would advise?
I would say the fourth. If you're not into it by the fourth episode, then it's not for you. Because, especially, each episode tells a different story. And the fourth one, you start to see little hints of where the elder witch is, what her life has been. So I would say if you're not into it by the fourth episode, then it's not for you.
Well, okay. I want you to keep me updated on the journey. I might check it out. And once again, the name of it is...
The Owl House.
The Owl House, okay. Alright, it's time for me to bring up a topic. And what I'm going to bring up is something that is kind of near and dear to me and Bill. Because I have the... Yes, so I know we know a lot of things happened in 2020, a lot of negative things, some good things, but there's one thing that probably went completely under your radar, Bill, if I didn't tell you. CFO $sign disbanded after WWE and Arcade Songs dispute.
Oh no!
For those that don't know, CFO $sign is garbage and are terrible at making pro wrestling themes. But they apparently had some problems. Now,
oh no!
I would like to read this article from arenataping.wordpress.com about it. Because it's actually pretty interesting to me. In general, me and Bill did, sorry for, in case you're a bit lost here, me and Bill did a series called Let's Discuss Pro Wrestling Albums. In which we discussed every pro wrestling album that ever came out at that time.
Right.
Years ago. Anyway, so here's the article. After being dropped by WWE in May 2019 of their main music directors, arenataping.com can confirm that CFO $sign has disbanded at the turn of the decade after being fired from their music publishing label Arcade Songs, owned by their long-term partner Greg Rottenberg. And skipping to 2020, in January 2020, Arena Taping revealed the new group of people in charge of making the original music for Superstars events and promos, DJ DTP, later dubbed Def Rebel, exclusively for WWE. Now, did either of you two know that? That's the group that's doing the songs now?
No, I didn't know.
That's as of last year, literally a year ago. The timeline is the let me see, there's some other interesting things here. Here, this is interesting. As opposed to owning the entirety of the publishing rights of Jim Johnston and Def Rebel music, WWE only owns 50% of each track made by CFO $sign, with the remaining 50% being owned by Arcade Songs and Spirit Music Group. In 2017, the issue starts leaking onto the commercial releases of CFO $sign's tracks on digital streaming platforms, with more than a dozen songs being canceled/held off. including Bobby Lashley's remix, James Drake, Monday Night Raw, Super Showdown, and Crown Jewel's theme songs. Grand majority of the canceled tracks eventually surfaced online through a leak originating from Universal Music Publishing Group before the metadata of the same tracks appeared on YouTube. WWE and Arcade Songs eventually got to know about the leaks and started blocking unofficial videos that included the leaked tracks up until 2019. So let's reflect on that, because I'm sure people at that time were complaining, oh, WWE's throwing copyright clean. Well, yeah, because they might not have been the only one, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, what do you think so far?
Well, I think I'm kind of more surprised that CFO Dollar Sign broke up than anything else.
Well, we'll get there. All right, I'll skip right there now. Here we go. The duo eventually... just one thing here. Apparently, WWE Music Group couldn't announce the identity of the new group until June 2019, but they promoted the original recording of Never Die by Adrian Dunn, parentheses Mr. Hopper, done in 2008. Despite CFO Dollar Sign's departure from WWE, some of their last works were yet to be used. Sasha's remix, which was released in April this year. How the fuck do you say this guy's name? D. Jakovic's theme from August 2019. That's definitely not the way that it looks like. And Joaquin Wild's theme from October 2019.
Oh, Shima Zion. Or DJ Z from Impact.
Oh, okay. Even though Greg filed for a trademark request for CFO Dollar Sign, the duo spent the rest of 2019 working with artists and projects at Arcade Songs until, surprisingly, the band were shown the door out in December 2019 at the same time the trademark application was accepted. The duo eventually split earlier this year as John Alicastro got featured on Meg Rand's Wiley's Revenge song under a new alias. Oh, for fuck's sake. His new alias is John Fett2 Dollar Sign. He had to keep the dollar sign as part of the friggin' name. While John continues to work in the music industry, the same cannot be said about Mike Laurie, who has since left the scene entirely and is focused on programming as a software engineer, an undiscovered endeavor for the ex-producer and ex-accountant. Arena Taping has reached out to WWE and Arcade Songs, but haven't heard back from either. Your thoughts?
That sounds like a big mess.
Yeah.
What I don't understand... Clearly, WWE would have known that they only had 50%. I mean, you could say WWE's bad at a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. Contracts, not one of them.
Yeah, they're pretty spot on when it comes to contracts and stuff. I mean, look at all the disputes over the years.
Especially contracts that don't favor them.
Right. Yeah, because one of the things that was a high point in WWE was the whole Twitch stream.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you bring this up.
Yeah.
I do want to talk more about that in a little bit, but continue what you were saying about I'd like you to stick for now with the music, and then we'll gear off to Twitch stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, when it comes to money and stuff like that, they're usually very articulate and spot on because they don't want to lose no money.
Another interesting thing about this article, which I did forget to bring up.
So that's weird,
CFO Dollar Sign attempted to have WWE buy them out of their publishing deal and have them work in-house, but the publisher rejected the proposal, which I'm going to assume is Arcade Music.
Right.
And as a result, WWE has used no new CFO Dollar Sign music since. And it was in August of 2020 CFO Dollar Sign were released from their recording contract and disbanded shortly afterwards. But how about that? They could have been as terrible as they were, they could have been the full-time WWE theme song makers.
Yeah.
But Arcade Music stopped them. And I think WWE should be thanking Arcade Music every day. Because CFO Dollar Sign came out with, what, 3 songs? But you know what this also brings up? How long do you think... by the way, Dean Ambrose, I think, won? I wasn't really sure.
He did. Okay.
How long before stuff gets edited on the network? Much like the Attitude Era and some 80s stuff.
Ooh.
That's the big story.
That's a good question.
I mean, look, it's probably not going to take... It'll probably take a few years. And I'm sure they'll fight it in court at some point. But I still think they're going to lose. And if they do lose, I'm thinking maybe in about 2 years, you're going to see major edits to shows from the 2010s, specifically.
Now, you bring that up, and one of the things I'm thinking of is AJ Styles' theme has not changed. And that was done by CFO Dollar Sign. Because I believe now that, I'm starting to, when you mentioned the 50% thing, I was like, okay, this is slowly starting to come back to me. One of the things they have done, WWE, I'm talking about, is for any person that, like, let's say NXT, like they had a CFO Dollar Sign song, and they came up to the main roster. That theme was changed, not right away, but eventually within like a 6-month period. And the perfect example is Keith Lee, because Keith Lee had a really good theme song, and then they changed it, and people were like, why are they changing this song? And then, it came out that the 50-50 thing happened. So,
yeah, then he had that jobber music for a while, but I heard his new theme music recently, and it's actually pretty badass. I liked it. His new one.
I think what's going to happen is right now WWE is going to work with whoever this new group is. You're going to see, this isn't going to happen in the next 3 or 4 months, but I would say in the next 2 years, you're probably going to see, or hear, I should say, any music that CFO Dollar Sign did, you're going to hear like a similar theme, but there's going to be some kind of difference to it. Whether it's like different instruments or a remix or something like that to make it officially theirs. And that's when they're going to start, after they can get their top guys and women to have these new songs. That's when they're probably going to, not going to announce it, they'll just slowly start editing the 2010s.
Right.
Now, for now, I assume they're just paying 50%. That's to my understanding right now. They're probably paying a higher fee, which also makes you wonder why the hell they even got rid of Jim Johnson in the first place.
I don't know. They did him dirty, too.
They did.
And now he can't even find another job because it's a joke that he worked with WWE.
Well, he did make PCO's theme in Ring of Honor.
Okay, but again, it's a non-wrestling. He was looking for real, like, music work.
Right.
And supposedly, I read somewhere that is, like, kind of difficult for him because he was associated, all he knows is pro wrestling. Which, again, goes to that scene.
What happened to the women's match? Are they...
Oh,
here we go. Okay.
We're not doing the women's match?
Yeah, they were advertising. Oh, they were advertising Randy Orton versus Luke Harper for that next week.
I was confused too.
Rest in peace,
I mean, trust me, I definitely would love to skip an Alexa Bliss match for sure.
Yes, and I was looking just a minute ago, and I think this was the first women's main event on SmackDown.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to say it is because this was actually a good feud, and this was a great way to reintroduce Mickie James as she did the whole La Luchadora thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spoiler alert! I didn't know it was Mickie James. I was ready to be surprised.
Good stuff. Becky and Alexa actually had a really good feud. Back then.
I mean, I've already gone on about how much I don't like Alexa. So, anyway, so about the CFO dollar sign now. So so let's see what happens in the next few years.
Mm-hmm. I
think you're going to get a lot of that on WWE Network in about 2 or 3 years for the 2010s. Sarah, give a topic.
Let's do a topic. So, I'm trying to. One topic I can. We'll do a wrestling topic. The one thing being Alexa's on here. What does everybody think about Alexa Bliss' association with the Fiend? I think there's some good stuff on her end.
I think it's shit. I think it's just them humming as a poor man's Joker and Harley Quinn. That's what it comes across to me.
I got you.
And actually, this is from what I understand, this is their chance to actually get rid of it, because didn't Bray go on fire or something? And he could come back and he
visited their feud, and now Alexa's in the middle. And
by the way, which everybody wanted, I'm sure. That's come back.
Yeah.
Especially with what happened on Raw this week.
Well, hold on. Before that, let me continue what I was saying. Is because this is actually an opportunity for them to actually change Bray Wyatt back to his past glory as the Fiend. He comes back, he goes, you know what? I did make one mistake, and I'm never going to do that again. And then he, beats up Alexa. Because he realizes that, all of a sudden, here I am getting put on fire and, being a less interesting character. Gee, I wonder what the main factor of that is. Oh, it's you.
Well, I mean, I say it's good stuff, but I didn't say it was it made sense. I'm really not sure what the whole purpose is, but I think the fact that I like to see this other side to her is what I like. I'll be more detailed for that as far as that goes, but it's something different for her. But I think Alexa is on that borderline of being overrated, and so it just for her to be in a main storyline, that's a good thing. But too, I'm just okay, what's going to be the end game here? You know, because she was originally introduced as just something to mess with Braun Strowman for a while when him and Bray were feuding back last summer.
That was the best I think I've ever seen her, because she got beat up every week, and I loved it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she's with Bray, and it's okay, well, this seems interesting, and I think I like seeing this side to her, but I'm just okay, now that she's kind of possessed her or whatever, I'm just really wondering what is the where they're going with it.
Hopefully it's to get Alexa away from her again. You know what it reminds me of, Bill, back in the day? It reminds me of, because the Fiend, you would say, I mean, I don't know about if you feel the same way, but at one point I was the Fiend could be the new Undertaker, basically.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what the worst part of the Undertaker's career was? When he fucking had, not you, Sarah, but his Sarah on the screen. And I'm hey, what's one character that you didn't want to know was married? Oh, right, the Undertaker. And you know what? I might say the same thing with Steve Austin, too. I was a little bothersome when they had Deborah come on with as his actual wife. I'm this is not a character. And it kind of goes to, we're watching Becky Lynch for more modern time. I didn't like that Seth Rollins was introduced as Becky Lynch's guy. Sometimes that doesn't work.
Like, dude, really?
Sometimes that doesn't work.
No.
And I think this is a time where you're just putting someone from the opposite sex with someone, and it's not working. So stop it.
Because, like, sometimes it does work. Although you have to, like, you have to find, like, the rare cases. Like, Savage and Elizabeth worked.
Right.
Because they were married. Mm-hmm. Like, they never said it, but you could just tell, the chemistry that they had was so damn good. Mm-hmm. And then, if I had to pick from today, I would say Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford is a good couple. And then the fact that, they finally announced their wedding date for Dynamite. Mm-hmm. God, you don't know how long I was waiting for that.
The one relationship WWE did do was when we mentioned about Rey Mysterio and Seth earlier. That they had Aaliyah Mysterio. Her and Buddy Murphy ended up being an item, and it was that classic. I just think about it, and it's so funny. She's like, I love him. And but a lot of people, I personally liked it. But a lot of people were like, oh my God, she's 19 and he's 31. Look, she's grown, and I mean, this is something a lot of people go through. Some people like that's a 12-year age difference. When I was 22, I dated a 34-year-old guy. So I mean, I didn't see nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it was just like another one of those layers to that never-ending Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio feud. But I felt like it helped Buddy Murphy out because, he was doing this whole thing. He was kind of going against Seth there for a while. And then him and Aaliyah, quote-unquote, fell in love or whatever. But I think they kind of let go of that a little bit. But then again, I hadn't really been keeping up the last month.
Well, like I said to you, and I know I had this conversation with Sarah, but I don't know if I had it with Bill. And by the way, I would be surprised on who La Luchadora is if someone didn't spoil it on me.
You know what I just noticed about her, La Luchadora?
What?
She has a hood.
Oh, yes.
Why do you have a hood? You're wearing a mask.
But what I was saying in regards to that, the only thing that annoyed me about the Buddy Murphy Aaliyah thing was there's no payoff. Like, I feel like was because she's not a wrestler, so there's going to be no payoff at all.
I did an article on Diva Dirt a while back. Could Aaliyah possibly be this next generation Stephanie McMahon? Not so much that she would wrestle, but the fact that she would be involved in these bigger storylines. Because Stephanie's had her share of those back in the day with Test, and then the whole thing with Triple H.
Well, it's funny you say that comparison, because I kind of feel like that with Stephanie in the last 5 years, is that she's another one, like, why are you putting Stephanie against someone because there's not going to be a payoff? She's not really wrestling. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think they give Stephanie's one of those where she's good, but I feel like they give her way too much power, and I feel like in a way that just kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Wow,
it kind of just it's like Stephanie's on a whole other pedestal, while, let's say, Stephanie's on this high tier, and then you got, say, like Becky Lynch below her.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I would be really surprised about this Mickie James reveal. Someone stole it from me, like 20 minutes ago.
Sorry.
By the way, it was because this is a clip show, so more than likely I'm not going to get an answer to this on this actual show, but what wound up being her reason for doing this?
Oh, God, that's a good...
Mickie James, I mean.
I think she, took Alexa as her protege?
Yeah. Okay. It was something like that.
But why the luchador costume, then?
Good question.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't.
I remember that I liked how they did that, but I can't really. I think she had an explanation for it on SmackDown, and I can't recall it at the moment.
I thought I just saw the words "Mamma Mia" on the screen.
You did.
I was like, oh, are we gonna sing ABBA now? Is that what's going on?
This Money in the Bank ladder match was really good. They had that controversy and everything, but I think the second time around was really good too. I just wanted to
wait a minute, hold on a second. All right, again, this is not what I've been watching, so I'm obviously have lots of questions.
Okay.
So this is a Money in the Bank rematch, so they had a match already?
Yes, this at the pay-per-view, it was a lot of controversy because James Ellsworth had a hand in helping Carmella win.
Right.
And so that's why they did the rematch, was because they felt like it was Carmella unfairly won the match.
But how stupid is that then? Wait a minute. So you're going to say that you watched Money in the... I'm not saying if you did or not. I have no idea if either of you actually watched the event. But you watched Money in the Bank and you didn't even see who actually got Money in the Bank. You had to wait for the next SmackDown?
No, she won the match, but James Ellsworth was actually the one on the ladder and grabbed the briefcase for her.
Right. So Carmella...
That's why they did the rematch.
No, wait, no, I don't think you're understanding. So wait. So Carmella is Carmella currently, as of this match, Money in the Bank?
As of this match, yes.
Okay.
Or they might have. They got it up there, so I guess she had to put it on the line or whatever.
Right, that's what I'm saying though.
Okay,
This is like WCW stuff. Like, oh, we're not gonna late WCW stuff. Like, oh, we're not going to actually have the winner of this match. We'll have it on Nitro the next night.
Mm-hmm.
This is garbage. Anyway, all right. Well, who am I kidding? I knew I wasn't gonna like the second half of this show. I already knew. Okay, new top to get out of this.
All right.
Gil, give me one.
Okay. This one is more of me being happy. I know Jim's not going to really care, but I'm just going to... Well, it's WWE Network related, so I'll just...
Is it how they can fix their thing from crashing on me?
No. Unfortunately not. So, on Friday, New Year's Day, WWE Network came out with a list of stuff that's going to be put on the network over this coming month. Okay. And they are finally
is it free on Free Network or just regular?
I want to say right now regular, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up getting like a couple episodes on free.
I was surprised to see the Slammies were on the Free Network.
The Slammies. Anyway, so it took almost 7 years, but they are finally putting up Wrestling Challenge on the WWE Network.
Nice.
I am, and the rumor that I've read, and this is only a rumor, so can't confirm this, is that it's going to be the first, 13 episodes. Okay. So it's from the very beginning. Nice. I think it's 1986. And what makes it interesting, and I'll try to explain this as best as I can, WWE does not own the rights to the names Wrestling Challenge or Superstars of Wrestling. There's a guy in Australia who owns the rights to the names.
Good for him.
And WWE was like, and this goes into the Wrestling Challenge thing. So they asked him, what is it going to take for us to get the rights to both names.
I would have said $1 million.
Well, you got half of it right, actually, Jim. I don't remember the guy's name, which is unfortunate for me because I find this story very interesting.
I'm interested.
Okay, so what this guy wants, because he's from Australia, I think he's worked in wrestling.
Okay.
He wants $1 million, and I know you're going to love this next part, Jim.
Yeah.
He wants to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes! You know what? He deserves it just as much as everyone else. There's no rating criteria for that fucking Hall of Fame.
So, like, whereas with superstars, they started from, like, 92, and they're up to, like, the summer of 93.
Yeah.
They now are going to have Wrestling Challenge up from the very beginning, which makes me wonder...
He's getting his induction.
I wonder...
Oh, they better not give him the bullshit one.
You mean, like, the legacy wig?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's getting the $1 million.
I want to know this man's name. I want to become his friend, and I want to interview him.
Let me... You know what? I think I might know someone who might know this. So I'm going to text them.
I didn't say, hey, I just do, I'm at that'spodcasting.com. I do lots of different projects, and I thought your story was really interesting, and I'd love to talk to you.
Oh, gosh.
I'll have to ask him, like, what made him think of the WWE Hall of Fame, and we can talk about how bullshit the WWE Hall of Fame is anyway, and it'll be fun. I'm surprised no one else has actually interviewed this man, to be honest with you, and I have not heard about it. Oh my god, he's so smart.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bill's trying to find out right now and go from there.
Alright, Bill, you figure it out. I didn't know about that. I
didn't either. That is... Oh, wow. That is so funny.
It reminds me, one podcast I listen to, wrestling related, is, and there are many, to be honest with you, is The Last Stand. And one of the things they went over recently, was that WWE did not have the War Games copyrighted a few years ago, and it was actually owned by MLW. And, yeah, and they were going all about the legal things and whatnot. I think his name's Court Bauer or whatnot. He was certainly not as smart as this guy. My God, this guy, he's a genius. Whoever this guy is. Like, I think all Court, I don't quote me on it, but I think all Court wanted was like a sum of money, which they didn't say, which I guess could be $1 million. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, the Hall of Fame thing is just genius.
That is hilarious. Oh, by the way, can I be in the Hall of Fame too?
I'm going to be. I'm probably going to send him a letter at some point, be like, "Hey, can I be the recipient of the Warrior Award?"
No, you want. Hey, no, ask him if you can induct him.
Oh. Yeah, or me. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna give a topic now. So let's talk about. Here's something interesting, Bill. I would like you, since we're coming up to Royal Rumble season and Eliminated is returning for at least 4 episodes. I know that you know how you review, like when you do your reviews on your show of the pay-per-views. Where do you go to? CBS Sports and Meltzer, right?
Yeah, because ESPN has stopped. I think after me and Fro have bitched and moaned about their rating for so long, they were like, screw it.
Well, here's what I want you to do. Can you look up for me if CBS Sports or Meltzer, and I doubt Meltzer actually has a list of this, but I want to know what CBS Sports or Meltzer did as what are their top 5 Royal Rumbles. I'd like to review the list for you and Sarah.
Let's see.
Obviously, me and Bill has done every Royal Rumble. Sarah, you've done 2, so...
Oh, I got a name.
Okay. Oh, for the person. Who is it?
Yes.
Who's our new hero?
Albert Patterson.
Oh, how great is that? That is last year's Patterson.
Imagine like they do a video package and everybody be like, who? What?
How? But you know what's even juicier? The fact that his last name is Patterson. That's what makes it even better. I love this. I love that this happened. I'm thrilled. All right, Bill, you want to find me that Royal Rumble list while I'm watching Becky Lynch and Carmella?
While he does that,
Yeah.
Anybody got any predictions? Being that it's now January?
I'm going to predict that I'm going to complain about it.
That would be a very, very bold prediction.
I'm only going to do the men because I haven't figured out the women yet. Unless as much as I like Becky, I don't want her to come back. She just had a baby.
Yeah.
I think Goldberg.
I don't see Becky. I see if Becky does come, it won't be. She won't win. I think it would be too soon.
Yeah.
But then again, I think of when Karma or Awesome Kong showed up at the Royal Rumble. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. Maybe she'll sit it out for a while, which she should. I think.
Yeah.
Well, it was already well earned, but now that she has a baby, I think it'll be too soon for her. But this, obviously I'm not her, so.
By the way, as I'm watching this match, there was a shot of Carmella that I had to laugh at. Because she's down, she's knocked out, but she gave like the worst acting to be knocked out. Like she opened her eyes basically as if like I don't know, she was like meditating or something. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm opening my eyes and I'm struck. Like she wasn't like, it wasn't a good sell. I thought it was funny.
I think. What's your prediction for the men? Bill.
I think Goldberg's gonna win it.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he?
Because originally, like, I had
hearing like little bits of stuff of him coming back, and that's gonna
be
because he has 2 matches that he's doing this year.
Oh yeah, he has okay. Yeah.
Right, because I remember being like, oh, for fuck's sake. So it's like,
that was another thing that popped up, and I thought about during the WrestleMania 24 documentary. Was Roman and Goldberg were supposed to be in a match, but Roman's wife had them twins and the COVID, and then Roman was put in. Bill's on to something, because they'll sure do it too.
They will. Because they have a hard on for Goldberg.
And 50 miles away.
Surprisingly, it's the only WCW guy that they like, and he's the worst guy.
I'll tell you who it should be.
Daniel Bryan.
Yes. That's who it should be. Because he is entering the Rumble.
Well, also because you can have that. It's only good if you play it off as like Roman is still the guy that people don't want versus Daniel Bryan, which is the guy the workers want, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that Roman has done this complete 360 in terms of his character, which I absolutely love. I could see that happening, but Roman, I think Roman is too strong, and losing to Goldberg would be bad for all the work
but so was The Fiend losing to Goldberg, and they did that anyway. So
that's true. You're right. That's true.
The only thing I will say is Vince obviously has a hard-on for Roman more than The Fiend. That's the only thing that Roman has worked for, because no matter what, they kept trying with Roman for years. All it took was for a little bit.
They finally found the corner, and they hit a home run, because that was something they should have been did. And better late than never, but
I mean, like I'm not all about it as you. I'm just kind of like, I feel like he's just insane, but whatever. Look, the bottom line is this. Vince won. Vince beat the fans with that. He successfully was able to beat Roman into everyone. And it's fine. Whatever the case is.
Okay.
I mean, it was better than what I thought he might do, and that was to, like, keep throwing the cancer thing on. I thought that was going to be the way they were going to have, like, you can't boo a guy with cancer.
I found a list, but CBS Sports didn't have it. So I found this list from awfulannouncing.com.
Oh, God. Were they going to have 2016 as their number one?
No.
Which is my least favorite Royal Rumble, by the way.
No.
All right, well, hold on one second. Let me just, Okay, go ahead.
All right. So number 10 is the 2010 Royal Rumble.
Okay, that's
the one Edge.
Wait, this is their best or their worst?
No, that's their number 10.
All right. First off, let me just say this: unless it's the men's Royal Rumble from 2018, nothing on this list should be from the 2010s.
Okay. Number 9 is the 1990 Rumble.
That's all right. Okay.
Oh, I have a soft spot for that match. Oh. Number 8 is the 97 Rumble.
Okay. I like that.
Number 8. Number 7 is the 2004 Rumble.
That was a good one.
That really was. Number 6 is the 2006 Rumble.
I mean, we had a problem with the placement on the card. I remember that much.
Yeah.
It was the one where the Rumble was the earliest, where it was the only thing in there.
Right. Number 5 was 2002.
I like that one.
That is a good one.
I think that might be my favorite, actually, from what I remember.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Number 4 is 2005.
That was a good one. I like that one, too.
Number 3, 2007.
Was 2007? Oh, that was the Shawn Michaels
Undertaker ending.
At the ending, yeah. That was alright.
Which was so good.
Oh, was that when
Yeah.
Is that when I was cheering all the ECW guys to win?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead.
Number 2, 2001.
That was a good one, too. And obviously, number 1's going to be the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
I can't believe 95 or 96 wasn't on there, but then again, I'm biased.
Oh my God, 96 we ripped apart. 96
Where's the love for 98?
96 didn't make any sense. Shawn Michaels should have been out and never allowed back in.
I'm biased though, because I was right around when I started watching, sir.
And also, the one thing I also remember for that episode, Bill, I don't know if you do, is that I noticed, because probably I was more aware, is that the Clique all eliminated themselves, basically. They made sure They made sure nobody else got over but them.
That's right.
Shawn Michaels eliminated Diesel. Diesel eliminated Hunter.
Who eliminated the kid?
Shawn Michaels did. It was a body press and threw him to the outside. And Razor wasn't in it, but Razor came out to feud with the kid, so he had to get over in the process. God, the Clique are so fucking political. What's Ellsworth doing?
Oh, that's how that happened on Sunday.
That's how James Ellsworth gets his women.
Yeah.
So does that mean that if they do it again, then that means they have to do it again next week?
That would be funny.
Why did they do it the exact same way when there was a problem with this the first time? Why would Carmella be sitting there?
Oh, good. Okay, good. Becky's there to make a save.
But why would Carmella be sitting there in this exact same situation? It's just dumb. I'm getting it.
Okay, I just want to say something real quick. And this has been bugging me for a long time, and I'm seeing this here in this match. And I just got to get this off my chest. These freaking referees are the absolute worst I have ever seen. Because it's like, okay, now both of you are gonna be like, oh yeah, I understand. Remember how, like, when there'd be, like, a big scuffle or someone's beating the literal crap out of somebody and the referee would, like, intervene and they, like, attempt to stop it?
Yeah.
These referees don't do shit. It's like, they probably would be, you know, like, if one of these wrestlers had a gun and put it near somebody's head, they wouldn't get involved. They'd be like, oh, okay, go ahead, shoot him, go right ahead, yeah, you know. I mean, and that's the same with the agents, too. They don't do a damn thing.
It's like they're just there as placeholders.
They're the worst. At least with AEW referees, at least they get physically involved.
By the way, Carmella won, and why are people shocked by this?
Because she won again. Well, I mean, looking at the people that are in it.
She's the person that was in there. I mean, nothing in this match showed me anything that Carmella, like, was not qualified to win. Like, it's not like she was a non-wrestler that, oh my god, the non-wrestler won.
Yeah, and this was all before she became Cher.
Is that what she is now?
Oh my gosh, she looks like Cher. Like, there's this one picture, like, I think it was like her first night back after they'd done vignettes, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Cher! They've got Cher on Smackdown!
Do you remember when Cher was on Tiny Toon Adventures?
Yes.
Okay. Christmas special.
Yes.
And they had the song.
Palms.
No, it was like, share, you share, and I share. Because it's Christmas.
Oh, yep.
Oh, what about Jinder now?
They're doing AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal right now.
What year is this from?
The Jinder Mahal, this is actually probably his best run right here. I would have never thought it would have been like best of WWE.
Well, best of SmackDown in the decade.
Yeah, best of SmackDown.
In the decade.
Yeah.
Shows you how good the decade was.
No disrespect to him, but yeah, he's somebody that you would have never thought that.
Oh no.
So wait, this was when he was champion.
Yeah.
Is this when we read that, like, where he headlined in, like, India, where he headlined in India, and the fucking nose beat him?
Yes! I think this is around the time. Actually, you know what? I will always, one of my...
The modern day Maharaja.
Maharaja!
Doesn't matter when you
I will say, I don't know, Jim, if you've ever heard this, but if you ever get a chance, look up, and it's actually on YouTube, so I save you the trouble by going to the network. Somebody recorded the Hindu commentary team's reaction of Jinder winning the title. It is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life. Because, like, you know, they're celebrating, and then they're like, India, number one, Jinder. And it's like 2 minutes straight. It's the greatest thing.
Good for them. Good for India.
I know, right?
Except then Triple H had to bury India. By the way, so Cher wrote on December 14, 2020, Cher at 74 says, there are 20-year-old girls who can't do what I do.
I'd agree with that.
I'd agree with it too. What is this now? Hold on, wait, what? Why are they showing this action figure?
Because I think the action figure is going to wrestle Jinder at Survivor Series.
Probably. Who knows? Alright. Sarah, how can you give me a topic?
Alright. Here's one that I've seen over the last couple of days. You know, with the vaccine and everything coming in, and there was actually talk of, obviously, you know, the entertainment industry has suffered big time.
Yes.
No fans whatsoever, or very few, or some are allowing in capacity or whatever. There was talk of them actually doing like a vaccine card for you to attend events. Now, I don't think there's a whole lot of details. I think it's just straight talk. But as like this vaccine's coming out, and people are getting it. How say we wanted to go to a wrestling show or a concert, but you have to have a card proving that you had the vaccine. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Good idea. And for the people that are saying no, it shouldn't, fine. Okay, then you know what? If you don't want it, that's fine. And you know, I think we can open things up to people that don't have the vaccine card in 2 years. That's how I feel about it.
For me, I think you should, because I remember, like, I don't know how they do it now, but I remember growing up in school, you had to have vaccine you had to have immunization card, or you could not go to school.
Yeah.
And I mean, with this vaccine, as deadly as it is to those that are, compromised health-wise, I feel like you should, just to be safe. But you always gonna have that one idiot that's gonna be sick as fuck, and they're gonna just go anyway and not think of anybody else. But when I went to the Dolphins game in September, and Everbank Field in Jacksonville, they were allowing 25% capacity, and that was still a lot of people. But I mean, they were very strict in social distancing and all this stuff. Now I think it's always good to be safe. But at the same time, it's like, I think as we go through, we're coming to this, I think you should have a vaccine card. And, it's gonna be, it's kind of like the flu,
Right.
You get a flu shot, but there's different strains of flu out there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think it's a good idea, but at the same time, there's that chance as you're assuming that risk as well. But I still think that you should have a vaccine card just to say, hey, I'm not trying to spread anything or.
Right. No, I agree with you. And to your point though, because I'm sure the people that would be against what you're saying, would probably argue, well, there's the flu vaccine, but not everyone's forced to take that. And that goes to my issue of, okay, fine, then normal people can start going to events right when when they get the vaccine card. People that refuse to get the vaccine, you have to wait 2 more years then, if that's what you want to do. I have no problem with if you truly believe that this vaccine is going to be bad for you or whatever your line of theory is, that's fine, but you're not going to be treated like everyone else.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with as deadly as this thing's been, I just think, especially like it's like you said, maybe 2 years, I think it's a good idea, and because that's the last you would want is be asymptomatic and then not be vaccinated, and it ends up being a super spreader,
Right, and I mean that's my whole issue right now with Like, I don't know how people even sell tickets to events. Because, again, like you said, you went to one.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what if you went there and let's say you didn't have any symptoms, but you had a fever and they didn't let you in?
Right.
So who would that fall on? I don't think it would fall on the ticket people, because the ticket people are not responsible for your life.
Right.
But also, it's not your fault because you didn't really know that you were going to be denied entry until they actually took your temperature. Like, whose fault?
Yeah, that's
like, because
I think that just opens up more complication,
Right, because okay, bottom line is you didn't see the event. Okay, so you should be recompensated by someone, but the problem is you can't really pin a fault on someone either.
Yeah, because they're talking about doing the temperature scans and stuff when you're there.
Right. Bill, where do you stand?
I mean, I don't think the card is a bad idea, to be honest. It's almost, you could almost say it's like a, you know, like if you have like an ID or a driver's license and you're a donor, you know, it could be something to that amount where it's like, hey, I've taken the vaccine, you know?
Yeah.
And I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, oh, if you don't like it, you know, I totally understand, because there are going to be people that are going to be like that.
Right, exactly. People do it right now for the flu shot. Not everyone gets a flu shot.
Exactly. Yeah. Not everybody does. I mean, I do because of the job that I have.
Mm-hmm. I do because I'm scared. I do it because I'm scared.
Right. So, I mean, I'd be okay with it. It's just, and it goes back to something that we've talked about, Jim, and I know we haven't talked with, or I haven't talked with you, Sarah, about this, is like, when do you get the vaccine? Because I know for me, I have said to Jim, I'm not going to get it on the first or second round. It's probably going to be at the earliest the third or fourth round that they have these vaccines.
Right.
It's not that I don't want it. It's just I don't want to go, you know, stand in a line, fight with 20, 30 other people just to get a shot.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I go to the doctor regularly because of my depression and all that stuff. But you know, if she tells me you're getting it, you know, I'm not gonna argue with her. But I'd rather see the front lines and the elderly get it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, that would be my thing. And be like, well, if somebody needs it, then don't worry about me. Let them have it. But you know, yeah, that's how. Like when I told my doctor I wasn't going to get a flu shot, she's like, "You're getting a flu shot. You're not coming back here sick." And I was like, "Okay."
I will say this though. I better get the vaccine before Bill.
I agree with that.
Because I go to work every day in where the most deaths and cases have been, New York.
Mm-hmm.
You, on the other hand, what do you? You go to your place of work twice a week? Is that how that's still working for you? I don't know. You tell me.
No, I'm working from home.
Oh, even because I swear to God,
the only time I go is if I need to pick up something.
Okay, because if I find out that you got it before me, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, I think I agree with you. I think you should get it before I do.
Also, I mean, not to disclose too many things here, but you are in the educational system,
Mm-hmm.
which means you work a lot with kids, and kids also have the least cases.
Right.
Like it's mostly the older people. They're 65 years old and older. I mean, not to say that younger people can't get it, but I've heard very few cases.
Right.
Certainly very few cases where they die. I mean, I'm more susceptible going to work where I'm surrounded by adults than you are surrounded by children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I have a bad feeling that's not how it's going to work, because I think both of the New Jersey governor and the New York governor's bullshit distribution thing is nonsense. So
isn't New York getting a new governor soon?
We have New York's getting an election. Oh no, New Jersey's election is next year. The mayor for New York is up for next year, or this year, I should say. And I will say, even though right now, I think as of right now, he would not get my vote. Meaning the New Jersey governor.
Right.
I complain about him all the
time. Speaking of election, I'll be so glad when Tuesday's here, because you know Georgia has the Senate runoff.
Yep.
I get so many pieces of mail. Just ads. Like I got was it Wednesday or Thursday? I was on the phone with my dad, and I was like, "Here, let me get the mail." And I was like, "Oh, I got a lot of mail. Oh wow, ad. Oh, what's this? Open it up. They actually had a Christmas card disguised as an ad. I was like,
yes.
French, but damn, like,
yes. super smart, because the other ones you just
It
threw
is.
away. The other one, this one you opened because you thought it was a Christmas card, and then you read what it was.
I didn't know what it was. It was a card, and I'm like, oh, that's someone sent that to me. I'm thinking maybe my dealership, the car dealership, sent it to me or something. No, it's a fucking ad on behalf of the Republicans. I was like, God.
And you know what's interesting? For some reason, and I don't want to really go into this because I don't know too much about it, but I feel like you being in Georgia, your election is super important somehow.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Because it's for the control of the Senate.
Control of the Senate.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Democrat and Republican. 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was too close to call, so they're doing a runoff, which is Tuesday, and that is all I've heard about. If I never heard the names, Kelly Loeffler, David Perdue, Raphael Warnock, and John Ossoff again, I think I would be fine. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Speaking of politicians that I didn't know but kept getting asked for, I wonder how, I know, Bill, we mentioned on our COVID episode, that woman that I kept getting ads for, even though I'm not even living in New York, so I can't even vote for her if I wanted to. I forgot her first name, but her last name was Maliatakis.
Okay.
I'm wondering, I'm going to see if I can find it while Bill, there's Nicole Maliatakis. Nicole. I just want to know if she won, because I couldn't help her even if I wanted to.
You know, I heard something on another podcast that I found very interesting.
She lost. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because you're advertising the people in New Jersey that can't even vote for you.
In New York. Apparently, in Alaska, Jesse Ventura was on the presidential ballot.
Really?
What?
Yes, and he got votes.
Wow. You know who else got votes? Kanye West.
Yeah, he did.
It's all right. He's going to go at it again in 2024.
Oh, dear God.
I think that's his last tweet, actually. Let me see. Here it is. Kanye West on... Yeah, that's his last tweet. 11/4/20. That's when he posted it. Is Kanye 2024, and it shows the map, or the lower half of the United States.
Wow, Kanye's been quiet for 2 months? It's a miracle.
Oh, and the day before that...
Just released an album, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, he's not going to be president. He's got to do something.
Right?
Do you remember what he was going to call his party?
No, I don't.
Bill,
No, I don't know.
He was calling it the birthday party. Actually, you know what? Here's another funny story. Since we're on the thing about politics here, who knew that we were going to go down this route? For Kanye, so he tweeted. You know how like sometimes if you're like an elected official, you'll do a big press thing like saying, here I'm voting for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, look, such and such voted. I'm sure Trump and Biden did it. Like they both probably had a press thing of them voting for themselves.
Right.
Kanye did it too. However, Kanye's might not be official from what I was reading. Because in order to do that specific process, you have to pay a bill for it. Which makes sense because you're publicly saying who you're voting for in a media setting. That makes sense to me. And according to the article that I had read, at that time, Kanye had not paid the bill yet.
Oh, wow.
Whereas I'm sure both Trump and Biden actually did. I'm sure it's probably like $60. And Kanye was like, I can't even be bothered.
I'm the greatest artist of a generation. I ain't gonna pay no $60.
All right. Who gave a topic list?
Oh, that was Sarah.
It was me.
Bill,
We
you're up.
got the vaccine card, and then we ended up talking about politics.
About Kanye.
Yeah. Okay, I kind of have a fun topic here.
Kind of. Okay.
Well, depending on how you feel.
Okay. Sarah will probably react better than I will.
But it can. I liked this topic.
Okay, go ahead.
Or this story. So there was a college in Michigan who came out with, or they do an annual list of words and terms that should be banished.
Oh, God.
And this has been going on for a very long time. The college is Lake Superior State University. It's in Michigan.
The Superior. Okay.
Yes, Lake Superior. So they compiled this list to, and this is the exact quoting: uphold, protect, and support excellence in language by encouraging avoidance of words and terms that are overworked, redundant, oxymoronic, cliched, illogical, nonsensical, and otherwise ineffective, baffling, or irritating.
Okay.
So they have come up with this year's list.
All right, can we take a guess at some things that might appear on the list?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, Sarah, I want you to participate too. I'm gonna say Karen, and I'm gonna say simp.
Karen is on the list. What was the other one?
Simp. S-I-M-P.
Not on the list.
You want to give a guess, Sarah?
Let's see.
Think like if you're on like social media, because this is how I do. Look like you're on social. Think like you're on social media, and then think of words that you feel like always come up, but you're like, like I can't
words or phrases.
That word again.
Gotcha.
It could be phrases too. So.
Let's see, twerking, and let's say, there was one word I couldn't frickin' stand, and I can't think of it. Oh God. You said phrases too. COVID.
Yep, that's one of them.
Oh, really?
Okay.
COVID.
Is coronavirus on there?
Well, it's kind of grouped in there.
What was it?
What did you say, Sarah?
Social distancing.
Yes, that is another one.
Okay, and mask.
No.
All right, let's hear the full list, Bill.
Mask. Wow.
Okay.
And
All right, give Sarah one more.
2020.
No.
Okay. All right, Bill, give the list.
COVID-19. Social distancing. We're all in this together. In an abundance of caution. In these uncertain times.
In these uncertain times is definitely a cliche for sure.
Pivot, and I'll use the example for that.
Probably for the election, right?
Reporters, commentators, talking heads, and others from the media reference how everyone must adapt to the coronavirus through contactless delivery, virtual learning, curbside pickup, video conferencing, remote working, and other urgent readjustments. That's all true and vital, but basketball players pivot. Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
Also, unprecedented, Karen, sus, short for suspicious.
Okay.
And
I can see that one.
I know, right?
Okay.
That's actually not a bad list.
No, it's not. I agree. Sauce, I'm surprised I didn't actually think of.
I didn't even know that was a real thing.
It's basically suspicious, but you don't want to stay suspicious. Oh, that kind of sounds sus. You just don't say the full word.
Right.
You know what? I feel like it's more from. I don't know if Bill knows this game. I don't know if you're into gaming at all, Sarah. But I feel like that's been popularized from Among Us. That's where I think that comes from. Oh, look, it's Cena.
Yep.
With his dumb haircut.
I know.
You know, there was some.
Look right with that hair.
There was some stat that somebody put up that this past year was the first year that John Cena did not have a match on Raw.
Good. That's how it should be.
I didn't notice.
I know, right?
I'd like to not have a match at all in 2021.
You know, I honestly do not miss John Cena, and it's just, you know, I think his time has passed. You know, they're going to still bring him back, of course, but
because that's all they know how to do.
Yeah,
bring people back.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring people back.
But yeah, I really don't miss him, and there's no disrespect to it or whatever. It's just, you know, I'm just glad to see he's moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What I don't like in regards to Cena is I feel like there's this narrative that's been rewritten. I might have talked to Bill about this. Certainly, I haven't talked to you about this, Sarah. Where like obviously people now when Cena comes out, there's like the dueling. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks.
Cena sucks.
But there's been this narrative like, oh, it's always been fun to do that. No, the old audience that you guys used to have hated Cena. We hated him in the not for like, oh yeah, it's fun to hate him. We legitimately did not want to see him at all. Like, I just feel like that's a narrative that
I think for a lot of us that is the case, and I think I think for a lot of us that is the case. We're like, oh God, really? And then like I think of like house shows or live events. They call them live events now. I call them house shows because that's what I'm used to.
Well,
you know, house shows you get a whole different reaction, but I think that's just different. You know, you have a different kind of crowd there and stuff, but yeah.
No, I guess and to me it's more of the fans doing it than WWE. To be honest with you, I don't know. I just feel like that's been a thing. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I think I did mention this on the last WWFree because I was talking to Cooter about it, and I think because it was the December show, so we were talking about Christmas stuff. And I think I equated it to the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. People hated when the Jim Carrey Grinch movie came out. People hated it. Now all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, remember this movie? Oh, that was cool nostalgia." I'm like, no, it wasn't. We all hated it. We hated the Grinch's main thing was, oh, he can't shave or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, right.
Like, there's this weird generational thing. I feel like that like rewrites things that because they want to think of it more fondly. Maybe it's just me, but I've known those are the two examples that I was able to pull out. I'm sure there's more, but it's weird. Anyway, let me give a topic. I haven't done that lately, and I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tie two things together here.
Okay.
Did either of you watch The Mandalorian?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I don't need it for this particular topic anyway. But what'd you hear?
Okay.
You were going to say something.
I mean, I know my brother-in-law and my nephew watch it, so.
Okay. In my opinion, possibly show of the year for 2020. Loved the ending. Couldn't get enough of it. And loved it all around. Afterwards, there was a thing that apparently Randy Orton also loved The Mandalorian. I don't know if either of you saw that at all.
Maybe I did see that.
I remember seeing something about that.
A lot
of I guess a lot of people that did watch it, they had a lot of positive reaction to it.
Possibly the best thing that Star Wars has done under the Disney banner, I would argue. My topic here is the Orton tweet kind of annoyed me. Like, okay, cool, you're a Mandalorian fan, but I think this is also a signification of what's wrong with today's pro wrestling and social media being part of it. And what I mean by that is I can't even imagine what it would be like in, let's say, 1998 if Stone Cold Steve Austin came on the thing and was like, well, goddamn, son, I just buried Vince McMahon's Corvette and had some bitch I made his car explode and with the goddamn cement. Well, goddamn, son, did you see fucking Friends? Dude. Like, it takes all the mystique. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with social media too, like, you're close to these people like never before.
Which is
and I think sometimes you can end up jaded.
By the way, this is a match. By the way, I'm watching Cena talk, and now I'm watching Becky Lynch talk, and this is one of the best matches of the decade.
Yes, Jim, a man versus a woman.
Up against Andrade and Selena Vega.
Eventually, I hope.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by that's my problem with that. Is like, because I think his comment was something like, I just burned someone alive, and now I'm going to. I just want to say how great the Mandalorian was.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes the mystique away from it for me.
That's why a guy like MJF you appreciate so much.
Yes.
Especially with the tribute show this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw his tweet, I was like, okay, I know he doesn't really mean it. He's doing it as a character, but it was still funny. Because when Brody Jr. hit him with a cane, Singapore cane, he went on the Twitter like later and was like, F that kid. And I'm like, okay, I got it. He doesn't really mean it, but I got it. You know? So.
All right, so I would like to bring up something that Sarah brought up earlier. And look, we're looking at arguably the hero of one of the possible heroes of 2020.
Yes.
Selena Vega.
Yes.
And that's what a great transition I made, because I want to go back to discussing what Sarah started, because it can be arguably the biggest news story of the entire year, with the WWE and Twitch situation. And what is going on with that now? Has everyone taken down their Twitch account? I know Adam Cole still has a Twitch account, but I've heard the argument might be that NXT does not have to abide by those rules, which would be
I have heard that.
Very surprising to me, considering they're under the same corporate umbrella. Does that mean the people of 205 Live can also do that?
My argument with this too is I think from what I read, whether it's true or not, Selena Vega opened up an OnlyFans account, and that was like the last straw. But if you're ordering all these people to shut down their Twitch and all this stuff, why has Paige still got hers?
That's a great question. I didn't know she still had it.
You fired Selena Vega over it, but you didn't fire Paige, and she's still on Twitch like nobody's business. Like, that's where I'm kind of lost at. Like, okay, you fired her, but her ass should have been fired because she's open about it and she's still doing it.
Here's my guess with Paige is did her injury, because I know Paige is injured, and she'll never come back to the ring again. I'm also going to assume that's in a WWE ring.
Yes.
Are they afraid of a possible lawsuit?
Perhaps.
I think that might
That
be.
is a good argument. I didn't think of that.
Look, I told Bill the other day, you have to think with WWE, almost nothing that they do is because, we want to do the right thing. There's always an ulterior motive to things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that might be the thing with Paige right now. So, okay, this match still hasn't happened, by the way. This is like 20 to 30 minutes at this point. And what is Zelina Vega wearing? She looks like she's ready for. I know she's got like a Latin background, right?
Yeah, and she's also a fan of Aaliyah.
Right, but she looks like she's like ready for her quinceañera.
Ooh, good job, Jim.
I know what a quinceañera is.
No, I meant saying that big word. I would have messed it up.
No, only because of the crowd. I think the crowd is.
I really like this. Selena likes to channel like Aaliyah, and she does video game cosplays too, and she does work that stuff into her attire as well.
Oh my God, Zelina Vega as Aaliyah from Queen of the Damned is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen in my life.
And she looks just like her too.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. I told her one time on Instagram, I'm like, girl, I lived through you. Oh my gosh, I wish I could.
I met her at a convention in like 2013. So this was years before she made it to WWE. She is that short. She really is. But she is such a sweetheart.
I heard good things about her. She actually, I did an article on Diva Dirt about her, the thing with her and Aaliyah, and she actually liked it. I was surprised. Oh my gosh, she really understands me.
So, okay, going back to the Twitch thing. So, I didn't know the page still had her Twitch. Whatever, okay, we might figure out why that was the case. But the others have been taken down, right? I know that there were some meetings going on, but didn't really sway anyone. From what I understood, AJ. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. AJ Styles. Did you see what he wrote? Like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago? Like, ooh. Basically, he indicated, like, you know, we're part of this company, and like, maybe we should even give some of the money back to WWE.
No, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, hold on, I want to look for it. Tell me what you guys know about what's going on currently with the Twitch situation. I'm gonna look up the AJ Styles thing.
I mean, all I know is, like Jim said, if you're on NXT, I think you're okay with having a Twitch account.
But that doesn't make any sense. Just
no, it doesn't.
NXT,
although I can tell you, and I can tell you because this goes with the whole story of, like Twitch and Cameo and all that. The 24/7 title changed hands on a TikTok New Year's Eve party.
I just saw that a little while ago.
So I'm like, wait a minute. WWE, who like months ago was like, you got to take these third-party stuff down, are like, yeah, let's have a title change on TikTok.
Wait, what happened? Was a title change on TikTok? I'm not paying attention because looking at the ages.
Okay. So there was some like New Year's Eve party on TikTok.
Oh, was that the Uno up down thing that
maybe
Rowdy Ross was talking about?
Maybe, and they had the 24/7 title change hands on TikTok.
Oh my god! All right, let me see it because I thought I'm still looking for it. It's hard for me to try to maintain a conversation and also look for this thing because you kind of have to read, because when you look up AJ Styles' Twitter, you have to look up like everything that he wrote. Let's see. Here it is. Got it. Okay. So he wrote, myself, Xavier Woods, and Sasha Banks had a sit-down meeting in Connecticut with Vince about this whole situation. And it was determined that it's intellectual property. This is, apparently he said this on Twitch. This is, parentheses, points to his face. We do well as far as the WWE, and if there's an opportunity to pay back that money that we work hard for it in different times, then we probably should. So right there, that's what I said. He said you should pay back WWE.
I don't know.
It's hard to say because I think with this pandemic, I mean, everybody in some way, shape, or form lost income.
Well, except WWE.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, but a lot of the talent, they they base the stuff on travel. It's known they're traveling a lot and stuff. So all these live event appearances and stuff, they got income from that. And when you have that loss of income, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I mean, they have bills and stuff too.
Yeah. And
so it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, I don't really know. I mean, I can't blame them. So, but at the same time, I'm really, WWE wants to make a cut from it too. I mean, at the end of the day, they are a business.
And I have no problem with them taking a cut if they're going to go by their real name, which is also another reason why they might not be on Paige as much, is because she does go by whatever her real name is, which I want to say is like Soraya or something like that.
Soraya,
whatever. That's the thing I think that bothers me the most. And also, okay, fine, you want to implement this? I don't know where we talked about this. I don't even know if I talked to Bill about it or who I talked to about it. Like, okay, if you have more, let's say you're on a 2 or 3 year contract. Yes, let's talk about it now, and I'll offer you a new contract. And let's talk. You can do it until your contract ends or something like that. Like, there's got to be. I feel like there should be some kind of line that's drawn. Like, if you only have 2 months, then work it into new contracts that you can't do this. Then it's fine. But like for people that are like 2 or 3 years got left, you can say, all right, we would like you to sign this new contract, but if you don't, then unfortunately, for us at least, you can't really do this. We're bummed, but you can't do this. It's not going to fly. I don't know. It's a lot. I definitely side more with the wrestlers because of how it's being handled. There's a lot of better ways to handle this. And out of all this, Zelina Vega's my new hero.
Yeah.
That being said, I did notice that WWE, it's the dumbest thing. I noticed on the WWE Network, they now have a gaming section.
Yeah, they started that, I think, this week.
And they won't even call it, Let's Play or what was it like Superstar Gaming Series?
Yeah, something like that.
How much more corporate of a name can you get?
I think the reason they're doing it, and this is only just a guess, is because AEW is starting a video game YouTube series.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are.
The funniest part of all this, even though I disagree with WWE stance on this and whatnot, I watch YouTube Let's Players every once in a while for certain games and whatnot. I think all of these wrestling personalities are super boring as personalities for gaming. Like, I can't see any of them being any interesting at all. I cannot even. I know that Bill certainly is not watching YouTube gamers. Sarah, I don't know where you stand with that, but to be a YouTube gamer or Twitch streamer or whatnot, you have to have some sense of comedic and personality, and I don't see any of that with these guys.
Like, the only time I really enjoyed any of the wrestlers doing the video game stuff was when Jack Gallagher was on Up, Up, Down, Down, and he played against, I want to say it was Sasha Banks' husband, and they did UFC, the video game, and whoever lost had to eat a nut, but it was 5 levels of hot, how hot they were.
I seen that. I seen someone do it with chili or something
or
a pepper, I think it was. It's pretty funny.
And it was the funniest crap, and I was like, maybe I'll try that with my dad. I never did, but it still was oh my god, it's just hilarious.
There was one that I watched. I wish I remember who it was. So these 2 musicians did it, right? And they each time they did a pepper, they sang. They were singers, so they had to sing something after it. And as it kept going, like when you're like 4 peppers in, it was like just barely able to sing like a Britney Spears song. It was so funny. Rey Mysterio versus we're already up to 2019.
That earlier.
You're up to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
They just skipped like 3 years.
I know, and it was like probably the better 3 years too. It was like what, 2012 to 2016.
I was just sitting
Yeah.
there like, dang, are we? Okay.
So here's my thing with Twitch. It's like, oh look, someone has a Pikachu hat.
Nice.
Sweet.
Look. I don't know what their plan is with this, but it's probably the same thing like their podcast series, because you know they're doing that now, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I don't even like AEWs, and I know that they have one, and I'm a fan of theirs. Like, to me, you have to have like a special like idea, and I just don't see WWE 2021 thinking of revolutionary ideas for podcasts or video gamers that those in those fields already aren't already doing.
Yeah, that's one of the things, you know, that I kind of think of too. Is like, okay, how do you stand out? Because there's so many of them, you know?
I think it's just they're trying to stand out because they're like, we're WWE, and we like to do quantity over quality, so let's throw it out there. Some of our people will watch it.
I just saw a sign a minute ago. I just want to point out Victoria for the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Please.
I mean, it's not like the Hall of Fame means anything.
Yes. But yeah, I hate that they don't give her the credit that she deserves.
Oh look, she's back. She's back.
Hey.
What the hell is he doing? Is he praying? Yeah, he is praying. Alright, anyway, our hero's Zelina.
That Zelina's outfit is definitely Aaliyah vibes, and I want to say it's from maybe We Need a Resolution, or there's another one I'm thinking of, and I am like drawing a blank. But yeah, that is definitely Aaliyah vibes right there.
Alright, whose turn is it to bring up a topic? Do either of you two have one that you're passionate about? I think we are. I know we're not done, but I do think we're nearing the end of the hour, so any last calls of anything you might have preferred should probably get thrown out now.
I do have one.
Alright, what do you got?
Wrestling related.
Sure.
I saw something over the last couple of days. WWE is implementing a ranking system.
They've done that before. I mean, not a real ranking system, but like on their website, the Power 25.
It's like on their, it's some kind of ranking system, and like people were like losing their minds over it, and I was like, okay, and we're paying attention to this. Why?
Right, there's no reason to it, unlike AEW.
Mm-hmm.
No, remember they used to do Power 25.
Yeah.
Probably like that. Hey, Sarah, do you have the list? Do you want to give me the top?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
And is it separated between men and women, or is it overall?
I want to say it's overall. So, yeah, let me look right quick. Because I saw it and I wrote it down on my sheet of paper here, and I was like, that'd be something to bring up, because I think a lot of it's overrated, but we already know it don't really mean a whole lot. So let's see where we.
You know, while you do that, I'm gonna see what Zelina Vega's doing. Our hero.
All right.
Let's see. maybe I don't know what her Twitter handle is. I would think it's Zelina Vega, but then again.
It might be Thea Trinidad.
Thank you. That's probably what I was looking for. Oh, there it is. Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. Let's see. The last thing she wrote was, Oh, good news. So someone wrote, just noticed that hashtag at Thea Trinidad changed her YouTube name, and she's so close to 100K. And she wrote, that's because my YouTube channel is coming back. and then a celebratory face emoji.
What is it doing?
It's coming back. That was 2 hours ago. So I guess it's coming back. Let's tell you. Which I don't know if. I guess it would be under Thea Trinidad. She better play good games, not like bullshit like Fortnite. Okay. Bill, while we wait for Sarah to bring up what she's bringing up, why don't you say something?
Okay. I do have a topic.
That's
that
what
I want to bring up.
Yeah, and then we'll come back to Sarah.
Right. There is a chance, it's not confirmed or not.
Peppa Pig versus Cardi B?
No. Sorry. Wrestle Kingdom might get delayed.
Why?
Well, in Japan, they've had a most recent outbreak.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
And they have had about 3,000 daily cases. And as of this moment, this was written in the newsletter, Observer newsletter.
As of 9:38 p.m. on January 2nd.
They have New Japan has suspended ticket sales of the Tokyo Dome shows.
Wow.
It is not known exactly how many will be in attendance, but 5,000 was not mandated to New Japan, and the company, out of compliance with the situation, followed Japanese government suggestions not to sell any new tickets to the show. They originally had the idea that both shows were going to be capped off at 15 to 20,000. And tickets will not be on sale the day of the shows.
Okay.
So if the situation in Japan gets worse, because they're doing 2 shows, so if they get worse between now 9:39 p.m. Eastern Time, January 2nd, and Monday and or Tuesday, there's a possibility that it gets postponed, or I'm not going to say canceled, but I could see it maybe getting postponed.
The idea is out there. Wow. Not only does that big effects on New Japan, but also it kind of makes me wonder, when is that going to hit here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the Wuhan breakout happened, they're saying now officially it was like November or December of last year, right? Or something like that?
Right.
So which means, and really we didn't feel the effects of it till March.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if in April are we in trouble again?
Well,
I mean, I already know that obviously our government is doing the exact same problems, the exact same mistakes that they did last time. Like, they should be closing shit down, but they're not.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I've read that some of, the, UK COVID case, is coming over here because there's one person in Colorado and another in California that tested positive for it.
I think I just found it. Give me 1 second.
Okay, well, the other thing is, though, what I'm hoping happens, even though it's very hopeful thinking, is that this turns out to be like the Killer Wasp. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Luckily, that didn't go too much further. They were found in Seattle, Washington, and they were gone pretty much within a month.
Okay, so basically, WWE has released what they call a tier list, and they started this, I guess, last night. So it was last night I saw it. Basically, they rank from A to F. And obviously, A plus, Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, they're both champions. A is Bayley, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, B plus. Street Profits, Rey Mysterio, Kevin Owens. I think I would have popped for Daniel Bryan and B+, but anyway. Big E, Otis, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Bianca Belair, C+, Dolph Ziggler, King Corbin, Murphy, Carmella, C, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, Robert Roode, Dominic Mysterio, The Riot Squad, Natalya, Billie Kay, Chad Gable, D, Aleister Black, Apollo Crews, Lars Sullivan, and F, Kalisto, Mickie James, and Mojo Rawley.
Mojo definitely deserves enough. You know who else deserves enough?
Huh?
You know who else deserves enough? Rob Gronkowski. By the way, just
WWE deserves an F for this.
I mean, WWE deserves an F in general for 2020. Just so everyone knows, I am currently at 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 53 seconds because we promised we would keep updating it, and we never did. We said that in the first hour we would keep updating, and we never did.
Okay.
Alright, I can see why people might have problems with the list, I guess. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, like Bill said.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, I'm not gonna lose my mind over it, because we already know how irrelevant WWE can be. Especially with these lists. But yeah, I want to say, I saw something pop up when I brought it up. It says, Mickie James responds to F ranking for WWE Smackdown Superstar tier list.
Oh, she's mad about it?
I'm about to find out. Let me
find out, because she got run over by a train, and I feel like she's lucky to be alive. Okay, while you look that up. Bill, I'm just gonna bring up the Undertaker retard again, but I don't know if I really want to do that. You know what? I'm gonna go.
The list. Okay. The list was made up by Fox Sports WWE analyst Ryan Satin. Okay. Nikki responded to the list and wrote, "The only thing I've ever failed in was trigonometry. Also, who made this list anyway?"
I mean, she also failed at getting run over by a train. What a great storyline that was, by the way. Alright, let's... I know neither of you two care about this, but I just want to throw this out there before I bring up my real topic. Animal Crossing was robbed of the Game of the Year award at the Video Game Awards, and I really wish that Rowdy Ross was on this show right now, because I would argue the shit out of him about his game that he likes, The Last of Us 2 won. But really, my arguments here is that Animal Crossing should have won, because Animal Crossing came out literally when everything was shutting down here in the United States. It came out on March 20th of 2020, which was around the time that either that, look, if your state actually did the right thing, you were closed 2 weeks before that. If your job did the right thing, you were closed before that. But mine wasn't, and I stayed and got COVID. Anyway, but for a lot of people, Animal Crossing was like the only escape for like the next month or two. And the fact that it did not win is a travesty. And there's my argument on why Animal Crossing should have won Game of the Year.
I do know that Fall Guys was nominated for Game of the Year.
No, they weren't.
They weren't? No, they were up for some award.
Because I was looking at all those nominees.
Weren't they up for some award?
They were probably up for some awards, because the Video Game Awards, just like music and the Emmys and all those, there are multiple awards.
Huh.
They're probably under a competitive award or something.
Because I was going to say, I think you were the one that told me first about Fall Guys.
Fall Guys is really good. Even though
yes, it is, and my nephews love playing it.
You know there's a new Fall Guys thing out, right?
Season 3, right?
Season 3, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's maybe the best one because of the different snow-related game or levels.
Ugh, snow. Gross. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now who the Game of the Year awards nominees were. Cause I watched the show, and really, the only good thing about the show was Sephiroth being announced as in Super Smash Bros.
Nice.
And now it will not load. I don't know why. Sephiroth. Let's see. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? To give me check Game of the Year. Why do I want that? Sarah, help
It's
me.
interesting you brought that up because one of my topics I was going to bring up if it came up was the Grammys. There was a controversy with that because.
Talk about that because I'm looking for the
contenders.
Okay. So The Weeknd was not nominated for any Grammys at all, considering Blinding Lights was like considered a front running for like Record of the Year and Song of the Year and stuff like that. And he had a very I love The Weeknd. He is one of my favorites. After Hours was really good, but yeah, he didn't get nominated at all. But Beyonce, who was in like maybe 2 or 3 songs, gets 9 Grammy nominations.
See,
9. I'm like,
okay.
You didn't even release an album, girl.
Here's my thing. It's Beyonce. They just like Beyonce. You know,
Stuff like that.
it's like she can do. It's like she can do no wrong.
Right.
And I have said, I've said at the gym, and I think I've said it on Facebook a few times, and I'll say it again. I think she's overrated.
She is.
Because
I like her.
I'm not gonna.
It's kind of like
I'm not gonna.
I like her.
I'm not gonna.
She's overrated.
I'm not gonna deny her beauty. She is beautiful. I'm never gonna take that away. But it's like, and Jim could sort of back me up. Like when we did, or when I was on, now that's what I call podcasting.
Yeah, the show that hasn't had a new episode since July.
Right.
By the way, you were on that episode. That was Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" movie review.
Oh yeah, and I think I told you later that my youngest nephew likes that movie.
Yes,
so.
you did.
But anyway,
his wife watched it too, by the way.
But it's like you could tell there were other good singers in Destiny's Child, but it's just like, oh, you're good, but we gotta focus on Beyonce, And then she becomes an let me clear my throat on that. Becomes an actress, and like, I'll give her. I thought she was okay in Austin Powers 3. It's not the worst thing, but in a weird way, it is as if her acting has gotten worse and worse. And it's like, if you say a bad thing about her, it's like they're going to send the entire U.S. Army to kill you.
Yes.
And for her to get I don't really listen to today's music, but 9 nominations, and I don't think she put an album out at all.
She put out like 2 songs. She did a song called Black Parade, and then she did. She was in the remix with Megan Thee Stallion of Savage. And which I think the original version of Savage is way better. But
you know what though?
More and more the Grammys to me is kind of irrelevant. Let me tell you how irrelevant the Grammys are. Who Let the Dogs Out has a Grammy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great song.
Okay. We need any more indication of how the Grammys are. Who Let the Dogs Out won a Grammy.
I'm good with it. Alright, look, here's the Game of the Year nominees. So I mentioned The Last of Us Part 2, which won. I didn't show enough. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Doom Eternal. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ghost of Tsushima and Hades. First off, let me just say also that I don't think that Final Fantasy VII Remake should actually be part of this list, because not because it's not a good game, because I love the original Final Fantasy. I haven't really played the new one, but I'm against when they, and this goes with kind of music and all genres for me, that if you're just remaking something that's not original, that wasn't created that year.
Right.
I agree with that.
Now, Bill, you mentioned Fall Guys before, and I did see Fall Guys won Best Community Support.
Oh, good.
I don't know
Okay.
what the fuck you were talking about Game of the Year.
I thought well, at least it won an award.
Well, hold on, I'm gonna look and see if they won anything else too. I don't know, so sure about esports. Maybe they won esports, because it did sound like you were thinking like they won a main award, but
Yeah, I was thinking
not
that.
looking like it though.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I didn't even know there were. I didn't know Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was still out. Best sports and slash racing, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Animal Crossing won Best Family. Okay. Whatever. I should have won Game of the Year. I don't even know what Hades is, but I heard it's actually pretty good. Oh, more talking. Kevin Owens is on. God, he was so much better as Kevin Steen. Kevin Owens.
At least it.
Timestamp for y'all on?
Oh, sorry. It is 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 6 seconds. 7, 8, 9.
At least it's not Kofi versus Brock Lesnar.
That's true. But like, to me, Kevin Owens is the guy that I undoubtedly am like, he was way better. Like when he was in the Indies or TNA slash Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I know he wasn't in TNA, but I'm just saying, like, when I group those people, like, oh, they used to be in TNA or Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been terrible. AJ, at least I'm kind of like, hey, he's still the same. He still has terrible mic skills and is a great wrestler. Whatever.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is a fellow Taurus. I love him, but I wish they would do more with him. And yeah, he had some good stuff with Roman here recently. So, but yeah, he's someone that I want to see more of, but I don't know what WWE is trying to do. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, Bill, remember when they had fans in the arena? And there's a guy holding his own face, I guess, in the crowd?
Yes.
Hey, at least, you know what? You were talking about how Zelina Vega was a hero of 2020. Yeah. KO is actually another hero of 2020 because he went to Vince McMahon like at the early stages of COVID and was like, why the fuck are we not wearing masks?
I guess that's true.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm not going back until you guys have everybody wear masks, because his wife's grandfather passed away from COVID. And he's like, no, I'm not going back. You kidding me? My wife's grandfather just died of this. And you want me to work? Forget it. Until you guys wearing masks, I'm not coming.
It's weird because every once in a while you hear about these guys that like stand up, but there's still not enough people that stand up, I guess, at the same time for a union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This fucking pancake thing.
It's like yeah, I think a lot of them are probably scared for their jobs. That's why you don't see more of that.
Right, and that's why I'm more. I mean, I'm not okay with sports going on, but also I'm like, they have a players union, so I'm sure they're fine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's someone's birthday. I saw a sign. Hold on.
Yeah, apparently it's his 13th birthday.
Oh wow. Okay. It's my 13th birthday. So it wasn't like The Office is like, it is your birthday, or whatever it is. I forgot what it is now. Okay, new topic. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna bring this up. The Undertaker retired yet again. What did you guys think? Personally, I actually thought the one thing I will say that's positive is karma to me that this man retired with no fans in the audience. He became such a sellout. Because he's such a sellout.
Oh, I got you.
I kind of popped when the Godwins.
It was emotional for me because Undertaker was one of my favorites. Of course, I cried, and they did the Paul Bearer hologram. That was it. I lost it.
Was it emotional for you the first 3 times that it felt like he was going to retire?
No.
I kind of popped when the Godwins came out.
Oh, did they? I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
They had the Godwins.
The thing was, I guess they were supposed to do something, and they ran out of time. They had brought all his friends out. The Godwins look so good. Like
they do.
Really?
Great. But
Savio Vega
came out and he cut a little promo and all that. But I want to say it was the Godfather that actually said something afterwards and was like, "Oh, it could have been done better." And I kind of agree with him because it's like, why did you bring all these guys out and not do nothing with it?
Exactly. Because it's like
the whole point. If the average fan didn't understand who these guys were, they would have been like, what the fuck is this? But I know for me, I knew everybody, so it didn't bother me until after the fact, and I was like, yeah, they did. But in a way, like, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this feud, I remember that feud, and, it was obvious there was supposed to be more, and it didn't execute the way it should.
And then Vince cut a speech after they played like the tribute video, and it was Metallica. So I'm like, oh, really? You're gonna use Metallica for the Undertaker? Because I was thinking,
pay those fees.
And again, nothing against Metallica, but I was thinking like, okay, they're gonna play like some country music because he is a country music fan.
Right.
So, and then Vince comes on, and he did not look good health-wise.
Wow.
Like, and that's been like a recent talk the last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that pop up too. That he's not doing it.
Come on, Disney, make an offer. Make an offer, Disney. That's what I say.
Can't wait for the Mickey Mouse division.
To be fair, you know what? I had been thinking about that for whatever reason. Like, if Disney went for WWE, you know where they would go, right? To the ESPN app.
Yeah.
That would totally sell. That's the one thing that Disney can't seem to sell. Like, people like Hulu, people like Disney Plus, no one wants the ESPN part of it.
And ESPN's the cheapest price of the three.
But who cares? I don't care.
I know no one cares. I know no one cares. I'm just saying that it's the cheaper of the
But that's what I'm saying. Now, what would make that more worth it? A WWE library. Just saying.
Now, would you keep... Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Would you keep the WWE Network, saying as Disney, if the new content went up and the older content went up to ESPN, or would you do vice versa?
Wait, say that again?
Okay. If you were Disney,
yes.
Let's say you buy WWE.
Right.
Would you keep the WWE Network up if the new content went up there and the old stuff was on ESPN, or would you do it the other way around?
I don't know. I feel like you can. That's a great question because maybe what I would do is I try to branch off to live events because the one thing ESPN, correct me if I'm wrong because obviously I don't have it, that ESPN has going on for it is that don't they do the UFC events on there?
They do.
So I don't see why the new WWE events, if there are going to be new WWE events, wouldn't go there.
Okay.
I think it all depends. It all depends on if they want WWE to be a continuing thing. That's what it depends on. And really, that would probably depend on the TV contract. Because obviously, if Fox is going to pay them a ridiculous amount, then they're probably going to want to keep WWE on the air.
Mm-hmm.
But now, and what I think was going to happen when the Fox deal runs out, they're going to look at how badly these ratings have been doing, unless they're able to pick it up somehow. And I do think that Fox is going to offer them a lower deal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be absolutely shocked if Fox was happy with what they're getting now. For the most part. The only reason that they survived on here is because the TV landscape changed. And what once was a great night for TV, you know, TGIF and whatnot, is not anymore. So it actually costs more probably for the network to say, we're going to try this show on on Friday night, and then it gets canceled anyway, because Friday night's not a traditional TV night anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, screw going out on a Friday night. I had shows to watch.
Right.
And now they're at the position where they don't have shows, so they're like, why don't we cut our losses instead of putting out big bank for these sitcoms and dramas and whatnot? Let's just have WWE, so at least for a year we know that we're going to have a consistent or near consistent number.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only, I feel like no one should argue that like WWE got this deal because they are a weekly thing.
Yes.
Like they didn't earn it because they're such good programming. No, they earned it because the TV market changed. That's the only reason WWE has this benefit. Agree or not, Bill?
No, I agree. Because you got to remember, and it even goes back into the 80s with Friday night TV. I mean, there were huge shows on before TGIF. I mean, you had Miami Vice, you had Dallas on, and then with TGIF, you had this generation of, you know, kids and teenagers, and the shows were just perfect for, like, that time. And I want to say for maybe the last 15, 20 years, the networks have been trying to find the right, you know, shows to put on that'll get a good rating. Mm-hmm. The problem is, nowadays, especially with these last few years, is you have all these streaming services. Right. So, like, okay, I'll pick Shark Tank. That's a show that airs on Friday. You don't have to watch Shark Tank when it airs on Friday. You could, you know, like, record it on your DVR and then watch it another day, and you could watch something on Disney Plus or Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's really the whole thing why they benefit. I mean, between that and the Saudi Arabia shows, that's their big money right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I might say it, like, if they didn't even have WrestleMania, they probably would profit because of the Saudi Arabia shows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where we're at. What else do we have? Is where I think we're either on or nearing the last half hour here. We're nearing it.
I have a non-wrestling topic to talk about. And this kind of is a good, like, this hits me, but in a good way. HBO Max is finally on Roku.
Okay. That's surprising they weren't on there originally.
Right. Well, the thing was, like, when HBO Max started, like, I think it was, like, Roku and Amazon Fire, I think were, like...
Oh, yeah, the Fire Stick.
Yeah, Fire Stick. Those were, like, the main ones they weren't on at the time. And they were able to work a deal with Amazon, and it took a long time with Roku, and then... It was right before Christmas, like the week before Christmas, where they struck a deal, because I believe the thing was something about, like, the payment. I don't remember what exactly it was, but for HBO Max to now be on Roku, you know, is a big thing, because Roku is such a used device, you know, for streaming. I mean, I still use like my Xbox and PS4
So do I, yeah.
for streaming, but like in my bedroom, like I will watch stuff on my Roku. So that's a big deal because Rokus are very affordable. Like they're like within the 30. They have like different prices, but the cheapest one you could get is for like $30. And then once you buy it, you're good to go. So
I want to bring up an interesting fact that I just thought of, and I probably jinxed myself. I have not seen a Roman Reigns match on here yet.
no,
That's true.
I have not either.
For the company that's pushing the hell out of the guy, yeah, it's surprising he's not on.
Watch, he'll be the next match.
Well, hold on, now I'm thinking about it. Has anyone...
But I just thought that was interesting that I haven't seen. I didn't see him yet.
I was gonna say, has anyone been in 2 matches? I want to say Becky was in 2.
Yeah, Becky was in 2.
Selena.
Andrade was in 3.
Obviously, yeah, Selena Vega. Yeah, okay. And
Ray was in 2.
wow,
And that's really about it. So I'll give them a plus here for at least the diversity of the matches.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there was more good matches, but I think with this influx of what they have, it's actually pretty decent in terms of variety and diversity, like Bill said.
Right.
This kind of reminds me of back when Coliseum Video was around and they used to have the best of the WWF series.
Yeah.
And they would it would be like a different collection, and it would be very rare to have like the same person have 2 matches or 3 matches on the same tape.
Right.
Over and over again.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of reminds me of here.
All right, Bill. So what? I want to talk a little bit about. I'm thinking maybe we should probably, because we're at the last half hour now. Maybe we should just reminisce on Royal Rumbles at this point, since Eliminator is going to be coming back in a few weeks. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are actually on the free WWE Network, which kind of surprised me.
Well, Bill said Goldberg's probably going to win this one.
Which unfortunately.
Well, let's say if he's not there, which I hope, but WWE. I think a front runner would be Keith Lee.
I would agree with you on that.
I think a front runner for that would be Keith Lee. For the women,
Look, there he is.
Oh,
this asshole.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. We don't know what match this is.
You're right. Actually, it's just your...
I'm so sorry.
Well, wait a minute. We don't know yet.
We
don't know yet.
Let me hear you.
Wait, what's this? What's going on?
Oh, is this gonna... Okay, I think this is KO and Shane.
Well, what the hell have Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have to do with any of that?
Weren't they on the first... I think they were on the first Smackdown on Fox.
I don't know. What are they doing? Corey, the Big Fear Fox for 2. Oh, you're right. You're not getting a Roman match. And this is probably the last match. So no Roman. Roman equals no SmackDown. But so this is like a back-to-back Kevin Owens match.
Yep.
All right, listen, I'll be right back. You talk about, I don't know, what were we talking about before this?
Oh, predictions for the Rumble.
Sorry, yeah, you two talk about predictions for the Rumble or Old Rumble matches. I don't care. But we might as well end it off the last half hour with Royal Rumble, since that's what WWE wants to give us, is like a lot of free WWFree Royal Rumbles.
Right. Actually, Sarah, would like Keith Lee to win, because I just really like the guy, and what I've heard as like one of the big matches for WrestleMania involves Keith Lee.
Right, yeah.
I'm not sure if I should say it on here or not, because it'll well, yeah, I'll just say it. So the match that I've heard being planned for WrestleMania is Drew to defend the WWE title in a triple threat against Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar.
Oh, God.
But that's only a rumor.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't come to fruition.
If you could replace Brock, I think... And nothing... I don't think I'd be mad at Brock being there because he hasn't been on in a year, so... I don't think I'd be that upset about it. But there's actually, but okay, we already said Daniel Bryan, Keith Lee. What about Jey Uso?
I would love that. I mean, Jay has really stepped up to the plate, and
he has.
Oh God, I love what he's doing with Roman. I just absolutely love it. I was sitting there thinking last night watching SmackDown, I was like, man, when Jimmy Uso comes back, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that. And But yeah, that's definitely something to think about too. And I would like, Jay's already proven that he can rise to the occasion, and he's a main event star. I mean, I would be 100% down for that.
Because the way you could do it, and let's just say Jay does win it, is if Roman is like, all right, you've won. Now you're going to go for the WWE title. We're going to have both belts. And then Jay maybe thinks about it. Like he hesitates a little bit.
Right.
And then something happens to convince him to go for Roman.
Yes. Because I think the thing with Jay right now is it's like he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good idea too.
So we've thought up of at least 3 people we would like to see win.
All right, who do you got? Let me see how I feel about them.
Daniel Bryan,
yes,
we talked about earlier.
For that.
Keith Lee.
Maybe.
Jey Uso.
I think his time already passed.
Okay.
I mean, really, the main thing I don't want... The two main things I don't want to happen is... Number one, I don't want any part-timers winning. Number one.
Right.
Number two, I don't want Big E winning.
I don't think he is, since he just won the Intercontinental title.
I would say he would... I think he would be a contender, in the next year. For sure.
Right. And then with the women, I have no idea who it's going to be.
It's going to be Charlotte.
And they're thinking damn, who would I even go with?
It's going to be Charlotte.
I think
it could be.
Go ahead.
No, I said it's going to be Charlotte.
They don't have a back-to-back winner yet. It's very possible.
And that
it is. Charlotte wins. Yes. Team Charlotte.
Maybe Cardi B and Peppa Pig will be in it.
Even though, you know what? That would make it possibly the best Royal Rumble ever. I imagine Cardi B goes in there. She starts smacking some of the women. And then throws them over the
Peppa Pig theme song.
No, and then Peppa Pig. Yeah, the Peppa Pig theme song plays.
Peppa Pig.
Okay, I'm thinking of the champions. Asuka on Raw and Sasha on SmackDown. They could have Bianca Belair win it this year and challenge Sasha. They're tagging with each other right now.
Right.
But that could go either way. She can win the Rumble, challenge Sasha, they have a throwdown, or something happens and they just beat the shit out of each other or whatnot. I think that match is gonna come. I just don't know when. It could be sooner rather than later, but. You know, I really don't know. I think the internet would explode if it was Nia Jax.
You know, I just thought of another one.
Would that be Nia Jax?
No, it's Nia Jax.
No, you know why? Because no one says Mama Maya, here I go again. My, how can I resist? Nobody says that. So it's Nia.
What about they go the NXT route and go with Rhea Ripley?
I was thinking either her or Io Shirai.
See, I feel like I'll tell you right now. I think like when they had Rhea lose at WrestleMania, that was like their thing of like, yeah, we're not going. So I think she's done.
We'll have to see.
I want to pick a wild card. And
Ooh,
maybe,
do you think
maybe it won't mean anything at all. But I want a wild card pick for me would be Candice LeRae.
It would depend on how the arm is.
Yeah. But that would be a wild card for me.
What would be the chances? All right, let me ask you this. Let me throw this because you guys watch more than me, certainly. What are the chances? Like we keep, how I keep saying like, oh, I don't want to part-time win the men's Royal Rumble. Like I don't want Goldberg to come back and all that.
Right.
What are the chances a part-timer comes back and wins the women's Rumble?
Ooh, yeah, I would probably be like in a love-hate relationship with it.
Like Ronda Garbage Rousey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because they fucking love her anyway.
Yeah, that would piss me off.
God, I have to say.
If they had it like where Trish won, I wouldn't pick for her. But there was talk online that there was something about her saying she had unfinished business with Sasha, and that is a dream match of mine. So like it would be like, I hate the way he did it, but boy, I'm ready for this. But yeah, I think it would just have to depend, I guess, for me.
And
what about?
We all. The funny thing is, we all like look at like the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to fight the champion, but me and Bill know that's not always the case.
Right, it's not always the case.
It's changed over time.
What about? And I think there's enough time in between for this to maybe happen. What if it's one of the Bellas?
I think
think about
if they have a new season coming up that coincides with WrestleMania.
I can see them making an appearance for sure.
Because they've had their babies already.
Right.
Yeah,
and this was months ago.
And they're kind of, in a way, they're kind of like Triple H, where like they are like, oh, we crave the spotlight. So I can see that.
But it's more Nikki than Brie.
Yeah, I get that too. I think Brie, to me, the way she portrays herself, I think Brie would be okay just staying home. Nikki, on the other hand, Nikki to me always came off as materialistic and like me. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, you want me to guarantee how I would watch WrestleMania? Book John Cena versus Nikki.
That would be.
That would make up. I wouldn't mind Nikki coming back. Give me that. That's fine.
Yeah,
that would make up for the worst
for the Rumble for sure. And at this point, it would be surprise entries.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, I think.
I mean, what's the Royal Rumble without that surprise entry? So that'd be.
It would be called concentrating on your current roster. That's what that would be.
Right? Yeah.
That's why the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble was the only good Royal Rumble in the 2010s because I think there were like two surprise entries. One was the Hurricane, and I don't even remember who the other one was. If there even was one, maybe there was only one. Oh wait, we might have time for a Roman match. We have 16 minutes for a Roman match.
Yeah,
Now,
we sure do, don't we?
now you were talking about like Rumble moments.
Yes.
I was listening to a podcast do their review of the 92 Rumble today.
Okay.
And it just brought back so many good memories, like watching that match. That's one of the few matches that I can honestly say every time I watch it, I find something new that I miss.
Oh, wow, really? Nice.
Mm-hmm. Like,
don't you just love that there?
Oh, I do. I think when we recorded that episode, Jim, the one that I caught was when after Sid eliminated Hogan, Eddie yells out to him, "It's every man for himself, big boy!"
Right.
I was like, yeah. Oh my gosh. And then, like, just like the whole, just listening to it just brought back like good memories for me.
See, it's weird because I'm not saying I'm the opposite of you, but I'm like, when I saw that, like, one of my reasons why I wanted to record this on January 2nd, 2021 at 10:22 p.m. right now is because I was like, all right, they won't update this for the Royal Rumble till later this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally wrong, by the way. Like, this is, I guess they're going to keep it all the way till the 31st.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I wanted to do it so early is because I was like, I'm kind of Royal Rumbled out. Like, we've done every single one. I mean, a spoiler alert, we actually already recorded the Osaka and MSG shows to get ready for the 4-episode return. I don't know, like, I mean, I'm sure I would probably have fun watching some of them. This is what you're ending on Bailey? Are you kidding me?
Well, it's the Bailey heel turn.
I don't care.
I'm just sitting here looking at this, and I'm just like, man, they did not have a Roman match. I'm shocked.
No Roman confirmed. Roman did not matter in all of the decade.
Yep.
But no, like I was saying, I was like, because one of my ideas was possibly going into this episode was, well, we'll rewatch the Royal Rumble 2020. And I was just like, no, I don't want to watch the laziest booked Royal Rumble in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I was like, fuck it, we're doing his best stuff.
All right, well, you know what? Since we have Sarah here,
go ahead.
Let's ask her the question that we had asked Ted when we did the final episode. Or, well, the original final episode.
Ted?
Yeah, remember?
I thought we had Ross on for the men's.
No, no. Like the finale. Remember the finale?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, gotcha.
All right. If there was one Rumble, like if we had to redo it, like if you had to push the reset button, and there was one that you could like review that you didn't do, which one would you do?
You did
2015.
Really? Why?
That's the one. That's the one where Roman won, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody saw it coming.
Everyone hated it. Except you, I guess.
Yeah, because everybody saw it coming. Yeah, because. Yeah, I think it was that same one. Wasn't it? Yeah, because it was the Royal Rumble. That was the same one where Daniel Bryan got eliminated like after 5 minutes in the ring, I think.
Yes.
And from that point on, it just kind of went downhill, and people were starting to get pissed off because it was like the Big Show and somebody else. They were just lazily dumping people out like, fuck it. You know, just like, who cares, you know, and that just really, that I remember that after Daniel Bryan was eliminated so early, that was what started, and it just went downhill from there, and so when Roman came out, and everybody was like, this is who's gonna win, you know, and so yeah, I would do that one all over again. I mean, I wouldn't have had Daniel Bryan. Maybe I probably would not have Daniel Bryan win, but I would have had him in the final four.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was just yeah, it was bad.
Like, I will say this: even though that match did suck, And I think I said this to Jim on that episode. We ended up having like the most fun episode of Raw the next night because of the huge snowstorm and they couldn't do anything.
Yes. And you know, I think in a way it was a blessing in disguise.
It was. It really was.
I mean, I'm just really surprised that you would choose that one over 2014 where Batista was rejected and Roman was the hero.
Right. Well, it was good. The Royal Rumble 2014 was good up until that point, but 2015 they just really dropped the ball on it. There were so many missed opportunities, and yeah, it was just Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was still like super over, and yeah, it was just the way they did it and how it was booked. It was bad.
Oh, just to let you guys know, Shuggy and Little James are here. That was a sign in the crowd. That's another thing I miss about the pandemic, are these great signs.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna have signs, I guess, right? Yeah.
Not for a while.
Well, yeah, not for a while. I wonder how they're gonna deal with it. It's weird because I feel like their format for their stupid men's Royal Rumble from this year or last year would have actually worked better during the pandemic times this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be. Oh man. Yeah. I hate the pandemic.
Can we say that's gonna be the most interesting Rumble?
Yeah.
Because of there's no fans and not in like storyline, or it's just gonna be so interesting.
Well, also now that I'm thinking about it, we just looking at it from a production standpoint, Bill. Sometimes to fill time, me and you would talk about the sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunately that's a handicap that we will not have this time.
Well, hopefully they'll have actual fans like in the Thunderdome that are wearing unique clothing, like Pokemon hat
They won't.
lady.
They learned their lesson. They know that they. Oh wait, hold on. What's this? The draft? The OC was number 3. Who the hell's that? Bray Wyatt was number 4. Drew McIntyre went to Raw. Randy Orton was number 6. Sasha Banks was 7. Ricochet, who the hell even knows what he's doing now? Is that number 8?
Oh, poor
Roman,
Ricochet.
Bobby Lashley. Number 10. Who the fuck would draft Alexa Bliss? Number 11. Lacey Evans, 12. Her too. She's terrible too. 13, Kevin Owens. 14, The Revival.
Never heard of him.
I never heard of them either. I wish I never heard of them. 15, Talia. 16, The Viking Raiders. You can draft 3 people at once for Lucha House Party at 17. 18, Nikki Cross. 19, Heavy Machinery. 20, The Street Profits. Okay. So this was during a draft, I assume.
I guess.
The one thing good that came out of this is that you know how you have some fans that are just overzealous and have these awful chants.
Oh, for sure. That's the one.
I don't.
Yeah, like I remember. I think there was at one point. I mean, there's tons of examples, but I feel like there was one point that they were chanting. I don't remember who it was for. You still got it, and like the guy is pretty young.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, you better still fucking have it. You know. No,
Yeah,
here's
used way too much.
I'm actually, again, I'm gonna always have this argument. I argued with Angry Cooter on the last episode that we did. It's like I'm okay with no fans. Here's my levels here. No fans is better than wait, what was it again? No fans is better than fake fans. Meaning the Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I guess you could put some because like AEW does the some, and I'm pretty good with that. But then again, those are AEW fans, and I typically like them. Charlotte even hit anyone there? Did she even miss? Did she even get that?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry,
Charlotte's just one of those where she just, she just came back recently, and you could tell she's had more work done.
Oh, here we go. They're doing a replay of it. Let me see.
And it's like,
Let's see.
honey, why? Carmella did the same thing.
That's why I called Carmella Cher earlier.
Yeah. I figured that was why, but yeah, I was like, why do y'all even? And the sad part was they looked fine before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I only think WWE has 5 good women's wrestlers, and Charlotte is on that list of 5.
Mm-hmm.
However, she is by far the most unoriginal wrestler there's ever been.
Right.
Everything that she has is like a basically, I wouldn't say a parody, but like I know she's not doing it to be funny. Like there's no one original idea for her at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All right, more Royal Rumble talk. So let's since we got this for like the next 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes. All right, more Royal Rumble talk. Bill, what is a Royal Rumble that you would want to do again outside of the 1992 one?
I would do the 98 one in a heartbeat.
Okay, why?
That match is so fun. There's just so many different stories, and they're good stories being told. And with Austin being a marked man, it was just a great story. And Mick Foley, D'Lo Brown, The Rock.
D'Lo Brown was fighting the Nation of Domination for no goddamn reason.
I mean, we even had Honky Tonk Man in the match.
Oh wait, was this also the one where the British Bulldog was going to win because he was bizarre?
No, that's the year before.
That's 97. What are you, Sarah? If you could have, what's some other Rumbles that you would have wanted to be on? That we've done.
That is a good one. I would say 2001.
2001 was fun.
Yeah, 2001. I'm gonna say the 91 from 95 because that was the first one I ever watched.
Okay.
I mean, the highlight of that one, I can remember correctly, for me at least. No, actually, no, it was 96. I was going to say the squad team members. That was 96. 95. What was I'm trying to think. What was the highlight for our 95 discussion? What do you remember, Bill?
Sean went beginning to end.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had a brief moment.
That's right. The moment.
The Bushwhackers did okay.
Okay.
I
guess there really wasn't much now that I'm thinking about it.
Like, I think... Bret Hart interfered twice.
That's right. He couldn't stay away. What was the other one, Sarah? Because I just want to reminisce for Bill.
2001, 95.
All right, wait, 2001. What do you remember from 2001? Is that Drew Carey?
Yeah, that's a Drew Carey one.
Yeah.
I was also the most weapons were used. I feel like.
Yeah. And then that was the moment.
Austin's third win too, because he's the only one that's won 3 Rumbles.
Yeah.
And that is the moment where WWF ended WCW because Haku came back that night.
That's right.
It was Haku that killed WCW.
And he was the hardcore champion.
Yes.
WCW. Forgot about that. Look, I just saw a picture of Roman.
I'm thinking about no, sorry. What about 93? Why is that popping in my head?
93 was when The Undertaker died and went to heaven.
Was that the Bob Backlund one?
Oh no, I'm sorry, you're right. The Undertaker went to heaven next year. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was the Bob Backlund one. And he was the hero, and it was the dumbest I've ever seen Randy Savage book.
Poor
I
Randy.
do remember that. That's pretty much all I remember from it.
Yeah.
Alright, so there it is. We went through 3.5 hours of the best of WWE SmackDown, and clearly not the best Roman Reigns.
No.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Sarah?
I am actually surprised. I think there was definitely a lot more better matches, but
For
like
sure.
we said earlier, with the variety and everything.
In the first half, there should have been more.
Yes.
And I'll be fair. To be fair to you, you probably could have fit a Roman match in all the time that John Cena and Becky Lynch were talking to each other.
Yeah, I agree.
That was a solid 20 minutes at least. Bill, what were your thoughts on the best of WWE, the best SmackDown matches in the decade between 2010 and 2020? By the way, this was actually officially released on April 30th of 2020, so I guess right after WrestleMania. That's
Like I said,
that's why Roman's not on this.
Oh,
Because they were still pissed about him not coming to WrestleMania.
right.
Yeah, with WWE, you have to think every single decision they make is political.
Like I said, I like the diversity, and I think the earlier matches that we had were pretty good. That match with Edge and Kane was pretty fun to watch. It just somewhere in the middle just lost its edge, no pun intended, and never really recovered.
It was a very strange match for me to end on, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they ended on, unless when it came out that was literally the last thing they did before they started editing this thing.
Right.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, what would have been? I'll be honest with you. I'm actually surprised that Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston wasn't on here. I know it was short, but I'm just saying, I'm surprised the whole thing wasn't on here.
Right.
I'm surprised that since you're doing skits and non-wrestling stuff, I'm surprised The Rock and Becky Lynch wasn't the one that was chosen instead of John Cena and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, any final things that we can discuss in the next 5 to 10 minutes? So either you have a quick discussion topic, and then we'll head out.
No, I think I'm good. I exercised all mine.
Okay.
I'm just looking at some of their compilations.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't pick the 10 greatest matches from the 2010s, because we would still be recording.
Oh, these are long. Let's discuss that. Look how long some of these are.
Okay, the 2010s, the 10 greatest matches, is 5.5 hours.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and then
you would have to do two parts.
But you know what's even more insulting to me? You know what the most insulting thing when I was looking through this whole thing? There's a best of Rey Mysterio on here. Did you see that? Best of Rey Mysterio runs at it looks like 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 36 minutes, whatever.
All right, that's
respectful. Right. Except for the fact that the fucking Goldberg one lasts for 3 hours.
That makes no sense at all.
Let's see. You know what? Similar to Goldberg's 3 hours, it also doesn't make sense how there's a best of Alexa Bliss for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Now, granted, at least I know. I mean, Alexa Bliss is terrible, but. Like, at least I know she probably did longer matches than Goldberg, but still, I probably would guess that if I were to turn this on, that I don't know, I feel like 90% of it's probably not good. Like,
there's a best of Nexus.
Maybe that's why she. How long is that one?
2 hours and 48 minutes.
I chose that one. What else do we have? We have the best. See, Gargano. If I was in an NXT mood, I would have probably put an option of Gargano versus Ciampa. But I'm not. I wasn't in an NXT mood. How the hell Shayna that whatever the fuck her name is has a thing? I have no idea. I mean, she's still pretty new, is she not?
3 years.
All right, let me ask you this, Sarah. Do you think that you can composite 3 hours and 19 minutes of Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, that's debatable.
Let's see.
She got good stuff. I mean, excellent stuff. But 3 hours worth? I don't know. Considering she only been here 3 years, I don't know.
Yeah. We have AJ. We have the greatest match of 2010. Look, Bill, this was possibly going to be a WrestleMania before then. And you know what? How long that would have been? Probably the same as fucking Daniel Bryan's 2010's. I had thought about the Undertaker's WrestleMania legacy, but then I was like, I'd just be mad the whole time.
Right.
But yeah, I am surprised about this. There's way more best of WWE available on the free version than I thought there would be.
Right.
Hold on. Charlotte Flair's 8 most memorable matches clocks in at 3 hours and 23 minutes. Now, Bill, can you do the math for me? How much time is that per match? The average.
Wait, 8 matches
at 3 hours and 23 minutes.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, God. You're No, wait a minute. How long?
All right, so let's see. So 60 minutes times fucking whatever it is. Times 7. Let's round up.
I think you're talking about 25 minutes?
So her average match on here is 25 minutes. Does that sound right to both of you or no?
No.
Okay. You sounded really sad.
Oh.
You know what? As much as I hate him, well, Triple H only clocks in at 3 hours and 19 minutes. That's fair.
That's shorter than Best of the New Day.
First off, the New Day should have like an hour. What the fuck are they? They're still pancakes around. And embarrassing.
3 hours and 49 minutes.
Pro wrestling, if I'm honest.
3 hours and 49 minutes.
This is crazy. You ready for this one? So we've been going over the 3 hour marks. John Cena's best WrestleMania match is 2 hours and 38 minutes. One of the lowest ones I've seen.
Wow.
Here you go, Sarah. Best of Roman Reigns. Even shorter.
Oh, wow.
1 hour and 58 minutes.
Dang.
Wow.
They must have really hated Roman Reigns in this list. They were still probably pissed that he didn't show up for WrestleMania because of his health. Because he wanted to stay healthy. Like, God damn you. I will say this. I did watch the Best of the Holidays. That was the shortest one, an hour and 15 minutes. But it got stupid towards the end. Like, at the beginning, it was Santa Claus and the Mick Foley versus that bunch of Santas from like 1999 in the boiler room.
Right.
And then like at the end, it's what was at the end? Let me look again, because I remember thinking like, what the hell does this have to do with Christmas? It's just a Christmas themed thing. All right, so check it out. So the first thing was Santa Claus. Then it was Mankind versus Santa Claus. Cool. Then it was Tajiri Claus versus Baba Claus. Fine, they're both dressed as Santa. Then it was JBL versus Mick Foley at Tribute to the Troops. They both dressed up as Santa. Fine.
Okay.
Randy Orton versus David Rotunda. It was a Massacre on 34th Street match. Fine. Then it was Good Santa versus Bad Santa, which was Mark Henry was Good Santa, and Bad Santa was Damien Sandow. Alright, cool. Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango, which was like something on a candy cane pole or something. Alright, still Christmassy. Charlotte versus Brie Bella. The only thing Christmassy about that one was, I don't know, some of the girls came out and attacked Becky Lynch, and they were dressed up as, like, one was a reindeer, one was an elf maybe, one was Sasha Banks, I remember that much. So now you're like borderline like, no, this isn't really a holiday thing. And then the final thing was Ronda Rousey versus Natalya, which had no holiday implications at all, except for the fact that the match was on December 24th.
Yeah.
It was a sad ending to the Best of the Holiday specials. Sarah, where can people find you?
Okay, well, you can find me on Facebook at Just Sarah, AWV for Just Sarah Woman's Voice. You can also find me on Diva Dirt, E-Wrestling News, and I will be contributing to the 4-seat once more. So be on the lookout for that. I'm on Instagram. It's AuntieTwister08, AUNTIE Twister08.
All right, as for me, that's podcasting.com. That's podcasting on Instagram and Twitter. And stay tuned for the update on when Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast returns for 4 episodes, at least.
Just want to say thank you guys for having me once more. It's always a blast with y'all.
Oh, that's great. I love having you.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, Bill, why don't you head us out of here?
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at House of Bill. Follow me on Instagram at Mr. Billiam85. And check out That Wrestling Show, which airs each and every Friday. Thank you guys for tuning in to WWFree, and we will talk to you all real soon.
Bye-bye.